Shalom. If I'm on right now. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Balance this. Right. Yeah, there we go. Woo. Shalom, 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 shalom. Hallelujah. Woo. Let me see. Minute. Wait a minute. Oh, we have a escape rooster. Actually, separate some roosters because tomorrow we're going to be processing some roosters for the first time, and one of them is underneath their house right now, letting us know that he's out there. Hallelujah. Okay, I hear you. He's just letting us know that he's like, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's do it. I want to go in your freezer. Okay. You're such in a rush to get in my freezer. I got you. Shalom, New World. Shalom, Redbeards Racing. Shalom, Johnny Smith. Uh, Shalom, Alex Giles. Shalom, Veronique Brown. Shalom, Lady of Lake Fork. Shalom, Jakar 3. Alex Giles. Shalom. Naomi Israel. Shalom. Hallelujah. I'm going to pluck them and just skin them. I skin them way easier. Some people do. I'm not going to skin them. We're going to pluck them and soar them. I actually like the skin when they're cooked. So now I have heard people say skinning them is easier. I think that I don't know. You may do a little bit of both. HOQ, my brother. What is that? I don't have it. For those of you who ever watched Training Day. No, I don't have one. There you go. Okay. Imagine this is a cigarette. What scene is this on Training Day? My nigga. For those of you who have ever watched the movie Training Day, you know exactly what scene that is. Miss Symphony, shalom, shalom. Carrie Thompson, shalom. That's right. My nigga. That's what Denzel was in the car, and the dude was next to him. When us brothers talk, that's HOQ is notorious for posting that GIF, and that's my favorite GIF in the whole world. I love it. Sister Renee, Forest Bride, shalom. 12 Tribes Athlete, shalom, shalom. For those who do not understand, I am not a very politically correct person, so you may hear things in the stream and be like, especially if you're not used to my 7-day stream. So if you come just for the prepping, oh, I wonder if you can hear me now. Oh, there you go. So if you're not used to that sort of thing, yeah, we have some fun. We have some fun. Okay. Thank you, Naomi Israel. Thank you, sister. Thank you, thank you. Am I coming in better now? Am I coming in better? David Patterson, shalom, shalom. Brother Alex, yeah, that's right. I know you've seen that one. Sister Chava Chava, shalom, shalom, shalom. Brother David, shalom, brother, shalom. Okay, a little better. Okay. I love you too, Love you. Where's it at? My nigga. Oh boy. Shalom, my brothers. Hallelujah. Yehuda, Yah, Israel, Shalom. Shalom. Hey, Chuck, you cracking up. Oh boy. Shalom, shalom. Yes. Yeah, you can have some. You can give them some too. So yeah, I was telling them we separated some roosters, 6 of them that we were gonna process. He said I'm laughing hard at while at work. We had 6 chickens or 6 roosters separated, and I'm gonna go get some more tomorrow. We're gonna separate some more. What I'm doing is I'm actually our goat pen. I'm actually putting a chicken, I guess, coop in my goat pen, and those are going to be more free range chickens. And what we're doing is because we have too many roosters in our chicken coop / run, and they're doing a number on our hens. So we're separating a lot of the roosters out and putting them in the in the goat pen, and we're going to let them free range. And that goat pen is going to be, our refrigerator. We'll let most of the roosters in there. They can play with the goats, wander around the goats. The goat pen's a pretty large area, so they can more free range in there. And people, I've had people say, "What about the chicken hawks?" Well, here's amazing things. Roosters are a little bit more smarter, so they'll run and get into the coop. But also, our goats are in there with them, so they're mixing in with the goats. And I've read a lot of stories of people who, range their free range their chickens with their goats, and said that they didn't see any loss of chickens because the hawks would see larger animals down there amongst the chickens and leave them alone. So that's something that I definitely am going to be doing. I had to kill my last rooster. It attacked Bear Independent's daughter, so he gone. Right. Sadly enough, I had to put a chicken out of its misery this morning. You can just get over. I had to put chicken out of its misery this morning. I was like, man, that sucks. But I just couldn't stand to see it suffer because of the doggone roosters. So yes, tomorrow we're going to be processing some, and then we're going to be getting rid of more roosters. But at the same time, I'm so happy because the hatchery that I buy my chickens from is having a sale. So we're adding 50 more chickens.
We're gonna have like 100.
Yeah, we'll have like 100 chickens. They're unsexed, so what I do is I raise the roosters up to be meat birds, and then the hens I raise them for eggs. But this morning, we had 20 eggs this morning. 20 eggs this morning. That's crazy. We have like 175 million eggs right now. We have literally a bucket full of eggs that we've gotten for the last like 3 days, and we're eating eggs. So now with 50 more chickens, they're unsexed. So let's just say 50. We'll have 50 roosters and 50 hens. Although the last batch the batch we got, it was like 35 hens and like 19 roosters. So yeah, we're buying another batch of, and I have a van that no longer runs. So I'm actually converting my van into a more or less like a hatchery area. I'm separating. It's a large Plymouth Voyager van that I rebuilt, but the head gasket went out and I'm not repairing it. Now I am going to pull the engine. And work on it. That's how we learn things. So I'm going to try to fix the head gasket myself. But until then, the back of the van has no seats in it. I'm actually going to separate the back into 2 sections. Well, kind of 2 sections. I'm going to make an incubator in the front, and the back section I'm going to make it just an area for the chicks to grow. I'm going to put a small panel or 2 on the roof of it. I'm going to put a battery or 2 in the motor port, and then I'm going to run it so that it can run 2 or 3 heat lamps in there. So that's the plan. The reason for ramping up prepping due in part to the revenge threats of Iran killing the general. No, that's not solely the whole reason. I had been thinking this whole year, you know, I've been thinking towards the end of last year, I say, in all things, whether it be spiritual and the physical, the Bible says first that which is natural, then that which is spiritual. I need to ramp things up, the level of seriousness. Now, that is a concerning thing. Today I watched part of the funeral procession. They hung the red flag above one of their mosques. And for those who know anything about that culture, the red flag is a red flag of revenge. So it's interesting, the things that are taking place. But I'm more concerned, more than anything, of just this whole year that we've already come into feels like there could be some destabilization. We ended the Roman year, and I'm talking, when I say year, I'm talking about the Roman year. We ended the Roman year 2019. We went on with the Dow. We ended the decade with the Dow at an all-time high and all these impressive numbers, and oh my gosh, everything was going great. It's like it's a setup for the Great Fall. That's what I feel like. Meanwhile, we have in Virginia, we have the Second Amendment issues. And around the country, we have Second Amendment issues. We have continual food. I continue to get documents from people who, I don't know why I want to send them to me. People be sending me all sorts of emails that work like in the meat industry, or they work in the farming industry. They continue to send me reports that they have access to. I'm a small channel, but they continue to send me reports of what's going on. I have somebody that works in. They run a. They're like they're like basically like the foreman of a meat processing plant, and they were talking about the level of the lack of carcasses that they have for not just pork, but for beef even, and chicken, because of the different diseases that are going on out there and destroying people's animals, and the ones that are going unreported by the mainstream media. We hear about the swine epidemic that's going on. Of course, we don't eat pigs, so it doesn't really apply to us, but it does apply to us. And as the swine goes, people are going to start transferring their interests into different meats. So as the swine start dying off, they transfer into, okay, we want beef now, we want chicken now. So for me, it's like, wow, that's interesting. So we gotta, I'm staying up on that, and I'm watching that take place. I'm like, okay, so I have to really focus on growing more birds then. Growing more birds. Brother Alex contacted me this week, my beloved brother, and let me know that he was making a humongous purchase of birds, that I want to get in on it. Yes, I wanted to get in on it. I just, for other reasons that we and him had discussed, we weren't able to at that time. I wasn't able to at that time. But I was like, but I still need to get some birds. I still need to get more birds. I have to increase. Our whole agenda for our family this year is to increase. The vision, increase what Yah has. Hey, shalom, Sister Dana. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, Sister Amy. Shalom, shalom. So it's just like I got it. And then we had in the brothers, where the brothers talk, an article was posted about California having a like a water limitation use, which is crazy. It was something along the lines of, it was a news article, and then it was on a Channel 5 News. They were talking about how they're, what do they call it, regulating how much water Californians can use. Mind you, they just said that the drought ended, or that the drought conditions had ended. But you can look it up. A guy named JSnip4 also did an article on it, also did a video on it. They're cutting back usage to 55 gallons of water per person in your home. 50, now for us, that's a lot of water, for one person. That's an extraordinary amount of water. We couldn't even go, as a family, we don't use that. Not even close in a day. Not even close to that much water in a day. But in California, Yeah, each person is limited to 55 gallons of water a day. That includes like the toilet flushings, that includes running your sink water, that includes showers, and that includes laundry. But here's the thing they were saying: if you're a single person, you can't take a shower and wash your clothes in the same day, because the average load of laundry, I think they said, takes like, I think they were saying like 30 to 40 gallons of water for your average load of laundry. And they say your average shower takes about 15 gallons of water. So if you did your laundry and took a shower, you're already at 55 gallons of water, which is crazy to think about. I mean, I get a shower taken out here with 8 gallon to 1.5 gallons of water. And that's a great shower at 1 gallon, 1.5 gallons of water. They're using 15 gallons of water for a shower. Woo! So that's 55 gallons of water right there. Now what about your toilet flushings? So they were saying that, per person, you have 55 gallons of water. If you go over that, it's a $1,000 fine per day. $1,000 per day. Here's the little sneaky caveat, though. That's a lot of money. $1,000? Because you went over your water usage 2 gallons? Oh yes, Sister Naomi, they're born. They're born. They are born. They were born, wow, almost 2 weeks old. Doing great. Doing great. So I sat there and I'm like, wait a minute. See, the sneaky part of it all is, in order for you to be able to get access to more water, you have to notify. They have to know how many people you have in your house. Right? Yes, California. Yes, it's California. Look up a guy, JSnip4, on YouTube, and he did a video this morning about it. And they had the news, and even the news anchors were like, wait, what? Wait, so I can't do this and this? Well, if you're a single person, you can't. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. If they're in drought conditions, then and you exceed your water usage, it's up to a $10,000 fine per day. So imagine you're a normal family. Imagine you run your sprinklers. They want the whole irrigation business of running sprinkler systems. But you can look up the video on YouTube. Look up JSnip4 California water usage. And then there's a couple of other channels that did, and then I actually went and found the actual news report. Them talking about, the news anchors are like, you can see inside their head, they're like, what the hell? How am I supposed to? Oh, crap. So also what that is that's also a census, because you have to report how many people are in your house if you want that extra water usage. So if you decide that you have a home birth and you don't want to, or you just don't want to report every single person that's in your house, guess what? If you want their allocated water usage, you have to report them. So let's say I just want to, I just want to live without all the regulations. And I have a brother who moved over here, and I don't want to report him. I just want to be able to have my brother live in my house. I have to report him because now there's 2 of us in my house. We're still only getting 55 gallons of water unless I report him as part of my household, so that I can now get 110 gallons of water. You see how that works? They are not going to be able to track how many people are in your home at any given point in time, so that you can get your allocated water usage. That's crazy. That's absolutely. And we were joking. What was that? I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy though. It's almost like it's a plan. But here's the thing. Imagine having company over. We were. Yeah. Hey, I know you want to come and visit, but if you want to flush the toilet, you got to bring your own water. Hey, I'm sorry, but I know you went and did a number 2 in the bathroom. Don't flush that. What we're going to do is that you and your family are going to number 2 that bathroom. Once you get about 3 or 4 number 2s in there, you all can flush. Because I can't afford to waste that much water. Like, hey, can I take a shower in your house? We were helping, work in your car. No, you can't really take a shower at my house. But what you can do is, no, you can't do that either. Can't do that either. The day we left, they were putting in smart meters, and that's what they're using. Those meters are actually, they report they report to the, the whatever agency it is, how much water you're actually using. So then they issue you the bill. Well, if you go over that amount, fine. That is absolutely amazing, right? And I don't trust those smart meters at all either, at all. So here they are. They know exactly how much water you use, and you're being fined for going over.
And that's a huge fine.
That's $1,000 a day. A day for water. If that's not a reason to get out of California.
When is it supposed to be?
They said it went in effect 2020. Yeah. Have y'all gotten ads pop up when texting somebody? I haven't. Shalom, Queen Frugulista. I haven't. Shalom, brother Liar. Shalom, Cassie Collins. So, it's just an amazing thing that we see what's taking place. Shalom, Amelia Bat Yahuwah. Shalom, shalom. So as I sit there and I watch this stuff take place, and I wonder, like, do people really? I would be putting in a rain catchment for at least the showers. And here's the problem: they regulate that too. There are at least the counties that I know of in California. They had a lot of regulations on rain catchment. If you caught rain and were using it for showers, they could fine you. The rain catchment could only be used for watering your gardens. Only. But if you use that rain catchment in your house, you were in trouble. So it just makes me wonder. What really is happening around this world. So it's almost like all these things are connecting together and adding up. So this is why this year, excuse me, this year 2020, we are just upping everything that we're doing to a higher, grander scale. Every little thing that we were doing, this next year, food production is going to be at the utmost. We're working on food storage this winter, but this spring, summer, fall, production, and the ability to store what we produce. That's the next thing, the ability to store it. That was the problem we had this year, is that we weren't able to store it all, so we lost a lot. This year, we're storing it. Fermenting something. They know it all. I don't know. I don't know it all. They know it all. So we'll be fermenting a lot. Can you grab one of those jars? My pepper ones. Yeah, peppers. Okay. So that is the plan. Here we go. Things like this. These are our cayenne peppers. Things like this. Storing as much as we possibly can, putting it back for another day. And it leads us to the fact that it's time for people to take the initiative to stop relying on others to support you. You have to get to a point where you want to stop relying on a system. Well, we have a dehydrator, but again, remember, we're on solar. So our dehydrator is literally put it outside in our van, because we're trying to minimize. One of the things that we're also focusing on this next year is putting the finances in the things that are what people call old school. Things that require more manual labor and less electricity. Although we are expanding our solar this year, I'm trying to get more independent, so I'm going to build a, like the Pastor Fox and Mother Kate have a solar, solar dehydrator. Thank you. Yes, there you go. Pastor Fox dehydrator style. Yes. And that's what we're building. I've seen their dehydrator, and they told me basically everything there is about it, how to build it. So I'm going to be constructing one. I don't want to have to rely routinely on electricity. I want to be able to let y'all know. Hallelujah. Say Enlightened One and Sacred Visions are making a YouTube page. Hallelujah. Bless you, House of Enlightened One and Sacred Visions. Your wife, bless you. So it's just one of those things that you can't sit back and think that you can continue to rely on this system the way we have. Some people, I had somebody, people, for some reason, I don't understand it. Being a person of color, Hebrew, black, whatever you want to call it, the attacks I get from other people that look like me because I live this lifestyle is astounding. I mean, I'm catching up on my emails, and I get, you're teaching our people to prep and stay here. You should be teaching them how to leave and go to Africa and go to the Caribbean and go to South America. And I'm just like, and do what? Do what again? Now, these are the same people who are still dead smack in the middle of New York, Detroit, LA, and they're mad at me because, yes, I did hear about the anti-war protests. They're actually taking place all over the country right now. They're actually taking place all over the country right now. But I had these people take me on the chin. I'm like, I'm preparing for my family. You don't have to prepare. If you want to sit where you are, sit where you are. I'm not telling you to do it. But mind you, these are the same people who have a savings account. Isn't a savings account a form of preparedness? Isn't it? You're saving up money for a rainy day, quote unquote. These are the same people that have they should start their own YouTube channel. That's right. Shouldn't you? These are the same people that have a retirement plan. Wait a minute, a retirement plan? You have a retirement plan and a savings account, yet you're mad that I'm teaching. I'm not even teaching. I'm just showing what I'm doing, and people are being encouraged by it. How about why don't you just go to another channel? That seems to be the hardest concept. The attacks that are being levied. It's not even attack. When I say attack, I don't feel like I'm being attacked. It is what it is. They can say whatever they want to. I don't care. It ain't gonna stop me from doing what I gotta do. But the way they attacked even other people in the comment section, I'm just like, so your plan is to pack your bags and fly to Africa. Your plan is to pack your bags and fly to South America. Your plan is to pack your bags and fly to the Caribbean. How about this? Are you doing it? At least if you're going to talk about it, do it. Right, bye. Right. Bye. Huh?
Do they have a plan?
Do they have a plan?
Do they know anything about living there?
How many times have they visited?
Have they stayed for their plane ticket?
Have they gotten their passport?
Right.
Do you have connections? Not, oh yeah, I heard there's a community out there. No, do you have actual connections out there? Viable connections out there? Because if you don't, and you just, I'm just gonna buy some property. Still waiting for Whoopi Goldberg to move, right? If you don't have connections out there, you're gonna be like a lot of other people that I know. I know at least 10 people who have left and came back. I left, they left, came back, and came back with I thought it was gonna be. Oh, let me see. Mrs. Gray said they better start now because I'm from Jamaica and I'm not replying no one there either. They have people trying to get. Let me see. They have people trying to get to Ghana and other countries and find out that they are totally alone and looking like the enemy out over there. They don't understand that. That's the thing that they don't get. Thank you, HOQ. Thank you, Mrs. Grace. Somebody from Jamaica. These people have this idea like, I'm going to get there and you're going to be completely alone in a foreign country, not knowing their language, not knowing how they do things, not knowing how they react. And let's just say something bad goes down and here you are, the foreigner, English-speaking foreigner with a house full of food. Like that's going to work. Like you're really going to say, oh, my skin looks like yours. My skin looks like yours. These are the same countries that are already going through upheaval, already going through anarchy, already going through war. And you're going to land there with a Bible in your hand and preach the good word. That's your plan. I'm going to lead them to the Messiah. They're not even going to know what you're saying. You're going to be like, shalom, shalom. Barakah. My name is More. More. That's what's gonna happen, right? They don't care for Americans, black, because they're gonna see you as an American. Shalom, boldly. Shalom. They don't want, right? They don't want you there. I mean, it's amazing. People have channels. Right, the Bible is their own weapon too. There is no better. Right. Yes. People are going to leave here and become a slave over there. So much for being woke. Right. Right. These people are hurting themselves over in these countries. They're killing each other, and these are people they know. You speak my language. I know who you are. You're going to come over there and you're going to just join in. Hey, I'm black like you are. Oh, I'm a Hebrew. You're a Hebrew. It's like the dreams of people have, the dreams that these people have. I'm like, I can clearly tell you haven't traveled much. In the Apocrypha, it says that a man that travels much has much experience. Shalom, Brother Manny. So why would you go? I don't get it. So for myself, I'm here. I'm preparing, putting back food, lots of it. Preparing as far as training my family. I mean, you even have to prepare today just to go out to the grocery store. One thing that I'm teaching, and they don't go out very much to the store. I don't like them going out to the store. And the reason why is it's crazy. I just have that sixth sense, like, I would hate for the two of them to be out with all the children if something goes down at that store. I already know if I'm with them and something goes down, I gotta be worried, like, oh, dang. Right, yes. And for those who don't know, thank you out the African and the AU. Thank you. For those who don't know, Africa's being bought up by China. China's buying up huge swaths of Africa. Huge swaths of Africa. Buying up all the natural resources and all the reserves, the diamonds, the gold, the silver, the root. They're buying everything. All the natural resources, they're buying them up. In fact, China's actually building the same way in China. They have these mega cities that are basically empty. They're building in Africa mega cities, large metropolitan areas that nobody lives in the middle of Africa. Right, China owns Africa. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, New World. Their land is considered the new grow zone for food. Thank you. As we are watching the climate shift take place, Africa is becoming a new grow zone. So China they're always one step ahead. China is buying up the areas that are going to be the new grow zones. The areas that are still going to be deserts, and they ain't buying those areas up. They're buying up where food production is going to be able to be done, because China is already understanding, oh, we're going through it right now. China also has how many people in China? I mean, was it like it's not, well, a quarter of the world's population or something like that lives in China. So they're thinking ahead. They're thinking ahead. China has all the people. Niggas 2.0. And people are telling them, come back. Please come back. China is ahead of the game. They've always been ahead of the game. But here we are talking about, let's go. HRQ. Right. Yes, China owns a lot here. If you look at there's a place in Kansas that you can look up online and you can see it's owned by China. Right. China's been playing. China's smart. Okay. Shalom, Latanya 74. Shalom. China is playing the absolute long game. They're playing chess. I'm talking like 3D chess, while the rest of the world's still playing marbles and pogs. Who remembers pogs? I want to know who remembers pogs. Let me see. I want to know who remembers pogs. Right. Yes, she just said if Jamaica defaults in a loan, China gets it, because Jamaica's in debt to China. Brother Frank said he does. We're playing pogs. Yeah, and they're playing chess. Oh, you don't know? Pogs are those little like circular like discs. And what you would do is you'd play with a friend. So I bring my pogs, he'd bring his pogs. So I put 2 down and he put 2 down, like in a stack. Put them down. Then you have what we call slammers. You take your slammer and you basically slam it on top of the pogs, and the ones that turned over, those were yours. The ones that stayed over and were still on their backside or had the backside facing up, then he would go. So you'd play with like, then you had the foiled pogs, and then you had certain slammers, you had flippers. There were the thin pogs where if there was like one down on the ground, so you'd throw that little flipper slammer down, it hit it, but it flip it over. So, or you just nip it. Man, I knew some pogs. I used to play some pogs in the hood. Us old people know them as milk caps. Oh, you're older than me. So they're called milk caps for the old generation. Milk caps. For us younger folk, like Brother Frank and myself, thank you, Brother Frank. For the old folk, like Brother David, they're called milk caps. For us younger folk, they're called pogs. But that's what's happening. China's ahead of the game. Yes, come out with 20 and go home with 80. It was just like marbles, for those who played marbles. You played marbles, you shot them into the hole, then you had the rainbows you could do, and you could take their boulders. Man, I used to be in the hood. I'd be rolling. I had a pack of marbles, and I would come home with a bucket of marbles. I leave out with a pack of pogs and come back home with a whole container full of pogs. And then we shot dice. So I leave home with $10 and come back home with 20. I loved it. And then there's always a shooting. And then everybody scattered. Anyways, Amy said, we just went outside. The time that we are in right now, it very much so is a time of, like, I got to get these things done. As far as, like, even with getting land. Land is being bought up. Land is being bought up at an extraordinary rate. And what I noticed even out here, I witnessed it. We witnessed it. A piece of property went up for sale. It was up for sale for about 6 months. I think it was selling for like $30,000. The guy bought, one of the people around the area bought the land. It was $3,000 cash. He bought the land for $30,000 cash. He bought the land for $30,000 cash, jacked it up to about $42,000 to $43,000, and then attached owner finance on it. So he's gonna make $12,000 profit by just buying the land, turning it around, and then owner financing it. And a lot of that is happening today. A lot of that is happening right now. So then a person says, owner finance, I can buy it. So then he goes and buys it, owner financed, but then you default in your loan. Kind of like repoing your car. You pay $15,000 on it, and then you miss your payments. And then they take the land back with $15,000 and whatever you've done to the land. All the additions and all the advancements you added to the property, they get to keep it all. Kind of like people when they get their cars, they buy a car. They buy a car, which is why I never buy used cars and I don't finance cars. I don't buy new cars. I buy used cars that have been proven to run for a while. I would rather buy a car and then overhaul the engine and transmission than I would buy a new car. Because these new cars today are so computerized that you can't do any work to them. Well, these people, they go out there and they buy these brand new cars and then they put new rims on them. They put a $5,000 system in it, TVs everywhere, and then repo it, and then get it repoed because they can't afford the payments. But guess what happens? That person, the bank or whoever it is, the lender, they take the car back with the new TVs in it, with your rims in it, but they let you get out your car seat. You know, if you go and to the tow yard and pay a fee, they'll let you get what you have in the car out. But everything else that you did to the car is now part of the car. New cars are like the millennials, afraid of hard work. That's right. That's right. These new cars, I would not invest. I still drive my 1997 Chevy Tahoe. Just went over 200,000 miles. It's still purring like a kitten, and I already have plans. Now I believe the motor's still running strong. But my plan, because I've already gotten the tranny done, the transmission done. My plan is if and when the motor goes out, I'm just dropping another motor in it. I can get a new motor put in, the motor and it put in for under $800-900 here. I'm running a 1997 Chevy one-ton, right? And then our minivan, our 15-passenger van is a 04. It's 01. It's an 01 with like 110,000 miles on it. We only drive that van when we go somewhere with the family. That car is going to be in our family for the rest of its life. So I'm just about doing things simple because people are getting so deep in the debt today that they can't see a way out. Every dollar they make goes somewhere else. Every dollar. I like the idea of the money that I make going to the rock. So I've been buying lumber just to have lumber. You know, one thing about homesteading, for those that are homesteading, brother, I cringe every time I hear you say tranny. Tranny. Oh, why would he overhaul his tranny? Why do you even have a tranny for? Not that tranny. Oh. But right now it's high time. But no, I love the idea of, because if you're a homesteader, you know that there's always something you need a 2x4 for. Always. A 2x6, a 2x8, a 2x10, a 2x12, some 7/16 OSB, half-inch OSB, 1x2 trim, 2x2. There's always some reason you need a piece of wood. I want to have it. And then you think about like what goes on in Florida, during hurricane season. Like I'm about to order another basically 50 sheets of OSB just to have it. I buy it, I keep it covered. Why? Because just like what happens in during hurricane season, how the OSB the prices get jacked up. When I built the first section, I was buying 7/16 OSB for $20 a sheet. The regular, I bought the one I'm buying soon, is $6.76. $6.76. When I built this section, it was during hurricane season. I paid over $20 a sheet for OSB. Over $20. I was paying for one. I could have gotten 3 of them. So it's good to just have some stored up. Now is the time to be spending money, converting into things that you'll need and someday no longer be able to buy. That is right, Brother David. That's why I'm taking your advice and I'm buying that Country Mills grinder. Sure, it costs $450. But guess what? Guess how much it's going to be worth when you can't buy them anymore. How much will it be worth then? I don't know. How much wheat can I grind with it? How many bushels can I grind with it? Are you going to be able to put a price on your family eating? On the ability to make bread? You see, I would just rather invest my money in the things that I get a direct return for. A direct return. That's what I'm interested in. Getting a direct return for my money. If I invest my money, I just killed my chainsaw on it working, but on a brother's land. Got to get a new one. Right. He's getting a new chainsaw. Now's the time. He said, when I look at Yah, I see it as when you're investing into what you say you want, he opens up the door for it. Which version of the book should I order? If you order the Apocrypha, if that's what you're talking about, get the red one that says King James Version. That's the one I use. It should be like $9 or $10, $8, somewhere around there. No more than that. We just put together our you're welcome. We just put together our other corn grinder, $20. I just made some large purchases on Amazon for just things that we need. Like one of the things that I like having is I like having rechargeable flashlights. I don't like having to buy batteries. So I like buying the rechargeable flashlight. So I bought a couple more. Now we already have this one. Completely rechargeable. Rechargeable by micro USB right there. Then we have this one, which recharges with a micro USB. And then we have this one that has its own charger. I got this from Harbor Freight. It has a front, it has a top, and it's magnetic. This one doesn't have it, but I'm investing in the things that I can use later on. And we use them all the time here because I just don't see the purpose in spending money for batteries. Well, we have one of those too. This is a radio. Let me see.
Wednesday, mostly clear. Lows around 30. Highs in the mid-50s. Wednesday night and Thursday.
I don't want it to give away the general location that we are in, so I think be talking too much. But that's it's a solar crank and plug-in flashlight and radio. One other thing I'm going into, I'm actually going into ham radios. I'm thinking about going to get my ham radio license. I've actually been studying online to get my ham radio license. But I am going to buy a ham radio. If anything, that was a Weather Channel on the frequency 164 something on that radio. So bless you, brother Eric Houston. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hallelujah. Bless you. But so now I'm actually going to go on a ham radio, and I'm actually going to buy myself my own ham radio for the family. I'm also buying walkie-talkie, basically two-way radios for the family. Because I'm at a point now where I'm done. I am done spending my money on crap, and it's time to invest in us. Oh, you have a radio? Yeah. See, I'm buying one because you can listen to the radio without a license. You just can't transmit. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm buying one, and I'm gonna program it so that I have the weather channel in there all the time, just there. That's actually where I learned it from, Ozark Geek. I was actually on his channel, and he was talking about them. He was comparing 2 different radios, and I was like, huh, that'd be interesting. So then I watched a couple more of his videos breaking down the 2 radios, and I'm like, okay, I'm buying a radio, but I want to make sure. So I started doing some more research on the radios and getting a license and all that. I'm like, well, I can buy one, and I can listen to the conversations. I can even listen to the weather channel without a license. I just can't transmit. So I'm studying right now to get the license, but I'm gonna buy one so that Brother David said he'll get one as well. We'll be able to communicate. These are the things that I am concerned with and about. There's 2 types of ham radios too. There's the, I can't remember what it's called. That's like the UH. Well, basically it's the wavelength of the transmission. So I'm buying the one that goes long distance. I'm not sure. It all depends. Yeah, a lot. It can depend on the antenna, the transmitter. I mean, I was watching one guy talk about he was sending out transmissions and bouncing them off the ionosphere, and people in other countries were hearing them, and then transmitting back. Yeah, so he would do his call sign, and then he would send a message that needed to be answered, and like a riddle. And somebody from, like, I think it was Japan, maybe it was, got his, and then his message, and then sent back, answered it, and sent back his call sign, and they communicate with each other a little bit. So, yeah, CB, but CB is more. CB isn't as far as ham, and I don't think you need a license for CB. But ham radio, you do need a license. Yes, yeah, ham will go across. You can transmit ham across state lines easy, within this country, easy, with even a decent and then you can go. People go on the big systems that they spend thousands of dollars on their systems. I just want a little radio that has transmitting capabilities, to go across state lines, and I'll be happy with that. There you go, Skip. Thank you. Called Skip when you bounce a signal off the atmosphere. Skip. So I've been studying that. Why? Because I want to put my money in the things that are going to have value, instead of putting my money in the things that carry no value. Does that mean we don't have fun? Yeah, we do. We just bought pizza recently. A lot of pizza. We enjoy going places, but sacrifices have to be made. Sacrifices have to be. If you ever plan on doing anything, unless you're made out of money, you got to make sacrifices. I made one to come out here. And now what I see what's going on in this world, I'm like, we got to make even more. We got to make even more. The time is now. HOQ said, yes, sir. And the license too. Brothers, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Get ourselves some ham radios, because, and then, develop find a frequency that we can communicate on. 2-man cross-cutting saws. Right. Because eventually, what happens when when fuel runs out and you can't run your chainsaw? Cross-cut saws. How do you take down a tree? I don't know. I've used an axe. It wasn't fun. But buy some quality axes. Know how to sharpen said quality axe. Saw. Hand tools. Things like that. That's where my money is going to this year. My money is going into that old-fashioned stuff that people, I spend your money on that. I've gotten the seeds. We have a whole stockpile of seeds. We have enough seeds to combat that seed bank that's in that cold region. We've got seeds. Yeah. But what are you going to spend your money on? Yes, I have the power tools. Now, I don't have an expensive brand, but hey, I built this house on my cheap ones. The next thing is the hand tools. There you go, diamond stones. Sharpen tools. Learning simple woodworking. With simple woodworking, Oh, when did I change at the phone? We changed right around the incident of the shooting in the dairy shooting. The dairy shooting. Not the dairy shooting, the deli shooting. Right around then. I decided, you know what? We're still the same brothers. We're still making the moves together. Every plan you've heard, Brother David, myself, HOQ, Brother Manny, and IP made, those moves are still, as far as I know, because Brother David's already here. HOQ, I just talked to him recently, and he's excited. I'm excited. Brother Manny's already out here. Those moves are still intact. It's just that with what's going on right now, the Bible says, be wise as serpent and harmless as doves. There's a fine medium between being flamboyant and being wise. Right, and I'm still following Yahshua. I am still following Yahshua. And that's my main point. I am following him. That ain't gonna change. Ever. Here's one thing I wanted to discuss. How many, especially with what we're seeing today, yep, we are still intact. Bullseye. We are still intact. The moves are still being made. It's just, we don't want, and we're striving to not have the wrong kind of attention on us. We want, if it's going to be attention, I'd rather have it the attention of righteousness, the attention of those that are striving to make moves. You know, there's a fine line between being foolish and loud, especially because we said we want to live a quiet and peaceable life. So since we want to live a quiet and peaceable life, I'm doing it. What kind of protections do we as men have for our family? I'm not just talking about, I got an AR-15, 7,500 rounds of ammunition. I'm talking about, what plans do we have? Do you have a plan for your family if they're traveling? And I know some of these things sound extreme, but you have to plan for the extreme today, because who would have ever thought 10 years ago that it'd be a regular occurrence that people are walking up in churches and shooting people? Who would ever thought that that would be a regular occurrence? Who would ever thought that a Walmart shooting would happen? I mean, I remember back in the Columbine situation, it was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe. Now these things are happening normally. People stabbing each other. People, I don't know if y'all read the story about that woman who ran down the Mexican kid, the Mexican girl and the black kid, in a drunken stupor, hit them with her car, went to the gas station, started calling everybody, racial names, and they ended up arresting her for disorderly conduct, and find out, wait a minute, this is the same woman that ran that little boy and that girl. Well, they ran the girl over. She ran the girl over, but almost tried to run the boy over. I'm just sitting like, just in Fayetteville, I think a couple of weeks ago, right around the time of that same shooting, look it up in the news, around the same time of that shooting in the Jewish deli shooting, there was a guy who ran up on a cop. The cop was sitting, there's surveillance of it. He ran up on his cop, on a cop. Boom, 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 boom. Killed the cop in his squad car. And walked away. Well, ran off. More children are being abducted. A lot more children. We just got an abduction alert yesterday morning. Little Rock, Arkansas. Child got abducted. On our doggone weather alert. On our phone. Yeah, that's what it was. In Fayetteville. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He got ambushed sitting in his car at the police station. And got ambushed. So we can see the level of sickness that's taking place. That's why I always encourage, for those who go to the store with their children, don't even get on your cell phone. Stay off of it. There's a video that was put up on I think it was RT America yesterday, I believe it was yesterday or a couple days ago. It shows a boy. The doorbell camera caught this boy, like 11-year-old. He walks up to his front door. He had been followed home by a car. My sight. Thank you. Bless you. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hallelujah. But this boy was at, it captures, the boy says he was followed home by a car. And the whole time this car, the guy was asking him, or the people in the car were asking him, he's got candy, come in the car with me. And the boy, it shows you him run up to his doorbell, like try to get into his house and then run around the backside of his house. And it looked like he threw something at the car. So I'm sitting here like, this stuff is crazy. And still, how many men are preparing your families for this sort of stuff? How many men are teaching their families, okay, we got to have a security protocol for what's happening? Sex trafficking is at an all-time high. An all-time high. We had a patient come into the hospital who had been attacked by somebody. Her case is what was on the news. She had been attacked by somebody, and the person was trying to basically kidnap her. Right, yes, the spirits are fulfilling their command. This is all demonic activity. And as you see, you know we're at the end times because that roller coaster is going, like, that snowball, that roller coaster, it's going down so fast. We are going down so fast that if you aren't making preparations for your family to get out, to be in areas that are safer, to be amongst like believers, those that keep the law, something's gonna be, there's an issue. I want to know that the people that are close to me, we keep the same law. I want to know that I have the ability to reach out and touch one. But instead, what's happening is we continue to be, and then we think that Yah is just going to continue to keep watching over us, although he's giving us the warning signs. The prudent man, can somebody grab my Bible? We're going to read a verse. And I continue to, this is one of my favorite verses in the Bible. And the reason why it's my favorite verse is because, right, the Bible does say, what is good, they'll call bad. What is bad, they'll call good. We are, and I fully believe we are escalating to these horrendous times. The Bible says that even the very elect will be deceived by what is coming. You know, I look at that, but I also look at the fact that there's a lot of things happening in space, what they call space. Thank you. Let's turn to Proverbs. And I know this is a preparedness, homesteading, but this is something that you should take into consideration when it comes to preparedness. Proverbs 22:3. A prudent man foresees the evil and hideth himself. Again, hiding is not digging a hole. Hiding is making the preparations, kind of like gray man. Said, you know, you can hide amongst everybody. You look like them, you act like them, meaning, you know, you're not going to be that person that's wearing a fluorescent green hat and that fluorescent orange, you know, vest, and you're trying to blend in with the people around you, which is the smartest thing to do today. Blend in. I remember living in the hood. If you were that person that was flashy, who drove through the hood with you know, your extremely large rims and your Cutlass Supreme, and you pull up into a gas station, guess what's about to happen? You're about to get held up at gunpoint. It was going to happen. And I was going to sit there and watch, like, damn, that fool about to lose his rims. He about to lose his whole car. Gray man. I just drive myself a nice little beat up SUV. The prudent man foresees the evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. That's Proverbs 22:3. But look at Proverbs 27:12. Proverbs 27:12. A prudent man foresees the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Twice. You've got to be prudent and foresee. That's one of the reasons that we have wisdom. We see what is taking place around us, and it should cause and drive you to make certain moves, not sit there. It should cause you, okay, whoa, all right, so I see what's happening. I can see, we're having a food crisis. There's an advantage to being up on what you see taking place around you. Only a foolish person would see, okay, damn, child molestation, kidnapping, murder, theft, all these different things that we are seeing, but it ain't going to happen to me because Yah's protecting me. Yes, he's telling you to get out. He's telling you to come out. I tell them, the changes we made in our house, y'all, we have a color system in our house. I'll let you know about this as far as some of our security protocol. We have a color system in our house, and the color system is blue, green, yellow, orange, red, black. And depending on what color we are at, depends on how they are to react with the children as far as the property, as far as being armed. We're always armed on the property. But as far as what undertakings we do on the property. So black, obviously, is going to be, we're staying in a house. We're staying in a house. We're staying armed. Something terrible has happened in this world, and we're not going to even venture up to the road. We're staying pat, and we're keeping our eyes open. We're paying attention to every noise, every time our dogs bark. Blue is, hey, things are good. They're just good. Live life like you ain't got a care in the world. Listen, we'll never hit blue again. We'll probably never hit green again. So from now on, it's like yellow to black. Yellow, orange, red, black. That's where we are now, between those four colors. Why? Because you can't just sit back and say we're comfortable. Yeah, that's actually kind of where I got it. My uncle, who was, I'll just say high up in the Air Force. That's all I'm going to say. High up in the Air Force. He, long time ago, gave me information like that. Like, you run a color system, and you have to have plans, a reactionary plans based on what you're seeing. So for me, another reaction was, listen, y'all probably won't be going out very much anymore at all. You just probably won't be. Because first and foremost, if something were to happen and I'm alone out there, it's just easier for me to navigate. That's just the reality of it. As most men here, it'd be a lot easier for you to navigate through a bad situation than it is if you have your children and your helpmates. It's just gonna be a lot easier, period, to navigate. How many people today have first aid kits in their cars? I just bought tourniquets. I was watching Bear Independent, and IFACs, individual first aid kits, and tourniquets. So I'm building my own first aid kit. I'm buying tourniquets. I have a nice elaborate, and I'm gonna go through it again, first aid kit in my car. I am putting water and food in my car, just granola bars in my car. Something that will allow me to get home if something were to happen, or something that if I had to stay pat where I am, if something goes down and I gotta stay where I am for a day, I'd like to eat and drink water. I have a map, a regional map of my surrounding area in my car. So if I have to get home, I have a pair of walking shoes in my car. I carry things like ankle supports and knee supports. Just in case. Because nothing's worse. One thing I hear a lot of people, the bug out fantasy. I'm just gonna bug out. And I look at some people, I'm like, so do you know what kind of I studied anatomy and physiology. I have a degree, bachelor's of science, and exercise science, physical education, but also a minor in nutrition. I understand the human body. Do you know how severe of a sprain you're going to have if you sprain your ankle because you're wearing tennis shoes, walking with a 75-pound pack on you? Do you know how severe of an ankle sprain it's going to be? Now, if you still have to travel 12 miles a day, how fast do you think you're going to be going? Just asking. A sprained knee, how fast are you going to be going? Exactly. First aid for children is not the same for adults either. Thank you. One of the things that I use in my first aid kits, I'm just going to say what it is. I found out that they work very, very well. I use feminine hygiene pads, and I have tampons. Have you ever plugged a wound with a tampon? It works. Have you ever used a feminine pad with some medical tape? It works. So you can go and buy the store brand gauze. Me, I just buy the feminine hygiene products. They're meant to absorb blood. So yeah, it looks a little bit weird. I go to the Dollar Tree and I'm walking out with a hand cart full of their pads. Right, I carry duct tape. I have a degree from the School of Hard Knocks, and I can tell you, most are unable to carry those big. Right, they got a pack, a 70-pound pack that they're going to carry. And I'm like, you're not going to make it very far with that. When's the last time you traveled 3 miles with that? 5 miles with it. Go for a walk around the block. If you measure how much your pack is going to weigh, either put it on or put some bricks. Walk around with a 15-pound pack. Right, tampons and duct tape, you can fix anything. You can. So these are the things. Benadryl. I don't like the idea of always using medical things like medicines, but having Benadryl. Just the simple things that a person can do to preserve themselves. Yes, they will. Sister Cassie, yes, they will. They will definitely plug a bullet wound. Easily. I keep super glue in my first aid kit, and I've used super glue on myself many times. Many times as an emergency. Just that instant stuff, ball game. And then I can treat the wound how I need to later on. Right, Benadryl can be a matter of life. It is, and that's why I keep Benadryl. And I keep a lot of it. I keep fire starters. Yes, I do. I have the striker, and then I have the magnesium fire stick, and then I have lighters that I keep with me. I keep knives. You just said it. I was just about to say it, Sister Colleen. I keep a knife. And no, I don't keep the name brand $75. I just keep this. I went and bought some cheap Walmart knives and threw them in my car. Just something real simple. Just some cheap $3. Right now, Walmart has them for $3. I bought like 3 or 4 of them and threw them in my car. I keep things for my car. There's nothing like keeping an extra container of antifreeze, motor oil, brake fluid. If you need transmission fluid, ATF transmission fluid, things like that. Because if you can keep your car working, a toolkit in your car. How many people have a toolkit in your car? And just basic knowledge, like, okay, if how many people keep the spare? A lot of these new car mods that people put in their cars now require you to remove the spare. How many have the spare to their car? Just a spare in case you get a flat. Just simple things. A tow rope, some chain maybe. What's a toolkit? If you have a medical condition, why not keep some in your car? Keep, a day's supply or two, however much. Yeah, jumper cables, tie downs, things like a tarp. People go to those battery packs. I had one. Right, a battery jumper. I had one. Those are good things to have as well. Because if anything, if it's an emergency situation and you have one of those battery packs, you can very easily charge your cell phone with it, if need be. Most cell phones today have a flashlight. Well, hey, if you take meds daily, hey, it'd be nice. It's a nice idea to have just a set of meds. A couple, maybe a day or two. And if you keep all this in your vehicle and something goes down in your vehicle, yes, some people say, I keep a gallon of water. I prefer the cases with the small individuals because it's easier to move with you. Now, I do keep distilled, a bottle of distilled water in my car, and that's for my battery, or if I have to pour some in my radiator. I even have some of that radiator, I call it gunk. But the stuff you put in, if you get a hole in the radiator or a small nick in the radiator, I keep electrical tape. I even have hoses. I have actually measured the hose size for my radiator hoses, my return hose, all the hoses. I keep a set in my car. I use a serpentine belt. Yes, the come along. Yes. I keep some wire in my car. I don't know about you, but I have actually had at a store or maybe the pack rat was already in my car. I don't know. I've had a pack rat chew through one of my damn wires, my ignition or my not ignition, my ignition wire in my car. So I get to the store, car, park. By the time I left, I was in there for about an hour. By the time I left, put the key in, either it chewed it that time or it chewed it and then through the bumping, it disconnected. Either way, I had to rewire it. Little did I know, I had a piece of wire in there. And that wire I actually had was an accident. It was actually wire because I was recycling some cords from appliances. Shalom, Pastor Fox. Hallelujah. You've been in our prayers, Pastor Fox. You and Mother Kate. But I had a cord. Not like one of these, but a cord that you have like a lamp. And I was recycling a bunch of them, but I had actually left some in my car. So when the wire disconnected, I just grabbed that cord, snipped both sides, stripped it a little bit, tied it to one end, tied it to the other end, car started. Having these things in your vehicle, I keep a socket rich set. I keep spark plugs. Just simple things you can keep in your car for a bad time. And a lot of this does not have to do with crap hit the fan. What about you're just realizing you're driving and your car starts knocking and you realize, wait a minute, that sound shouldn't be like that. And you find out you don't have any oil. Yes, anything to self-rescue. Yes. That's why I prefer vehicles that have a little bit more size, but you can have a small vehicle and be able to put this stuff in your trunk. All these are very simple things, but guess what? They cost money. So, tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. When I go back to work, wherever that is, I can't remember my schedule right now. When I go back to work, I'm going back to Dollar Tree, and I'm going to clear out their tampons, and I'm going to clear out their pads again, because I have used those for bandages, and they work so well. So well. I've got nasty cuts, or a nasty burn one time. My serpentine belt literally snapped. So there I am pulled over. And I always keep a backup serpentine belt in my car for that very reason. Serpentine belt snapped. So the engine's hot, and to get to it, I'm in a hurry. So I need to get home. And so I'm getting my serpentine belt on. I hit the motor block. It seared the skin off. It was just gone. And I'm watching like, damn it, I burned myself, and I'm watching my skin on the engine block just shrivel up. I'm like, oh man, I got cooked. Guess what I had? I kept some apple cider vinegar in the car and a pad, a feminine hygiene pad. Put a little apple cider vinegar on the feminine pad, slapped it on, screamed because it burned. But guess what? I had, my wound was covered, and I was able to get home because I had the belt, I had the tools, I had the socket wrench to release the tensioner, and then I had the ability to patch my wound. See, when it comes to like crap hitting the fan or things like that, I don't envision that as in like a lot of people do. They fantasize about it. They use the preparedness idea to sell their preparedness stuff. You know, I'm a prepper, and you need to buy my this, that, and the other. And I'm like, you need to buy my dehydrator. I'm like, but Pastor Fox built a hydrator, and I don't think it costs as much as your dehydrator did. And that's another thing is, that's why it's advantageous to be around like-minded people. Because if you're around like-minded people, you can always contact them as well. You can always contact them. So these are just some of the things that I'm doing. I'm going to get my ham license. I'm buying a ham radio. I'm buying 2 radios for the land. A set of them for the land. Oh, he kept 2. Elk Count, bless you. Bless you, brother Elk Count 25. He said he kept 2 spare tires. You may need that too. Right, crap hits the fan every day. It hits the fan literally every day in people's lives. Keep a German Shepherd in your bug out bag. Sister Carrie, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. But it's astounding how many people are severely unprepared because nothing's going to happen. That's what people say until it happens. I'll be okay until it happens. I'll make do until it happens. I continually ask this question. I have a lot of people who they'll contact me and ask me certain questions. I'm like, what are you spending your money on? What are you spending your money on now? I spend my money on my family. I spend my money on being ready. We have learned to enjoy simple things. We don't have to spend thousands of dollars to have a vacation. Here's our vacation. Let's go to the other side of our property. We're on a vacation. Ooh, I've never seen this before. Well, I didn't know we had this on the property. We're on vacation. Yeah, I'm actually planning on building a little beach area on the property. I'm an import sand. I'm building a little hut, and there's our vacation spot. You have been prepping since you were 5 years old. I've actually been into the preparedness lifestyle since I was about, my mom taught me about preparedness. As a Black Panther, I was taught about preparedness. But I didn't get active in it until I was probably in my 20s, early 20s. I mean, I still have packaged rice, which I need to swap out. I've got bucketed rice. I'm gonna do a video on it to show you how what it looks like after 11 years. I have 11-year-old bucketed rice that I have to actually swap out and get some new rice in there, but I haven't. I have food for my family for the particular reason. So I prep for small things like a flat tire, like, you know, having a change of clothes in your car, which I do. I carry a change of clothes in my car, just in case. I definitely carry underwear in my car. My mom used to always say, if you get in a car accident, keep a pair of underwear in your car. Because if you get scared, at least you can change your underwear. I was like, Mom, that's the last thing I'll be worried about. I'm trapped in the car. The fireman's like, are you okay in there? Yes. Can you do me a favor? Yes. Can you reach in my glove box and give me a clean pair of underwear? Don't think that's going to be happening. Don't think that's going to be happening. But that's another thing. Obviously, learn your local laws, state laws. But in the state of Arkansas, I'm always on the journey. Always on a journey. For those of you who live in Arkansas, but I'm always on the journey. So I stay protected at all times. Socks are a good thing to have. Hey, how about a warm jacket? Now I swap the jacket out depending on the season. I keep a big, dense, heavy jacket in the wintertime. In the summertime, I keep a little, just basically a waterproof windbreaker type jacket. All these little things. When you're in your car wreck, they cut off even your underwear. Can you please give me my other set of underwear, please? I need them. I have to stop chatting. I'm getting overworked. Now continue chatting. Just the little things that we don't take into consideration. And then my number one, prep. I hate saying prep because it's not like I'm a prepper. I'm not really a prepper. I'm just a person that reads the Bible and can understand you should be prepared. You should be prepared for what you see coming. You should be able to open up your eyes and see things like, there's too many shootings. There's too much instability in people now. And that's why my family stays home. And that's why the sisters are armed at all times. And we're way out here. And they still stay armed. It's a wicked, wicked time we live in. But my number one prep is the rock. When I was on remote roads, I kept my sleeping bag in cab in case of an accident and had to cover up because of being trapped. That's brilliant. Thank you for that one. That helps me expand my thought process. Thank you. Because there are some very dark and uninhabited roads that even I travel, where you may get a couple cars that travel on that road an hour a day. I mean, even the road that I live on, there's not much traffic on this road at all. Most of the traffic is people that live down the road. And I live in a town, in a village that has fewer people than you probably have, definitely, than you probably have in your apartment complex. Definitely in your apartment complex. Definitely. So having a blanket or a sleeping bag to cover up. Yeah, we have deep ravines. We have a lot of culverts out here. A lot of culverts out here. So it's just being prepared. But the rock is my number one preparation. It is my number one preparation. And the reason now, if I have to leave, which y'all willing, I will never have to leave it. We have, amongst the brethren, we have something that we have set up amongst the brethren. But it's just, when you look at what's happening in this world, how can you feel, how can you sit back and say, we're good. Things are going to be okay. I'll be safe. I don't have to worry. I'm not saying you should run around in fear, but I am saying that you should be able to open up your eyes. And I know I said there are certain videos I'm going to do. I am going to do those things. I'm going to do those videos. But just the idea that in California, each person has 55 gallons of water. I'm just like, that's amazing. That is amazing. But you've got to make some plans. If anybody says that at this point, they are damn right. Right. It would be a foolish thing for you to sit back and it'll correct itself. It'll fix itself. Or move to Africa. I'm just like, y'all people ain't thinking at all. At all. So yes, I am going to push the idea of homesteading, of preparedness, of firearms training, responsible firearms ownership, and firearms training. Definitely firearm safety. I was watching some video of somebody shooting, and I'm just like, he has the magazine loaded, he has a round chambered, and he's just sweeping past people as he's talking. Like, that person definitely does not, and of course he wants to get on YouTube or something. No, it's Facebook. He wants to get on Facebook and post him shooting. Just shooting. But he's just flagging everybody. He had his children there with him, and they have their 22s, and he's just flagging them as he's talking. I'm just like, oh. Then, before he shoots, he's fiddling around with his safety, and it doesn't look like his safety was even engaged, which means he's flagging his children with an AR-15 that is chambered. He has a round chambered, and he's got his finger in on the trigger. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna say who it is. I won't say who it is. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I was blown. So apparently, firearm safety needs to be taught also. That's another thing that needs to be taught. Like, come on, people. We've got to use more common sense than that. We've got to be wiser than that. Yah's ways are always for us. We have been producing and thus prepared. That's exactly it. We need to be producing. We need to be prepared. We need to be about our business, about what we're doing, about getting things done. That's what we need to be about. Right. Yes. And people need to learn some firearms efficiency. You know, one thing that I've always, when people have contacted me about it, I'm pretty proficient at shooting. Rip goes to CIA, so she knows she's definitely proficient in shooting. But people, they think that they're going to learn firearms or anything by taking a magazine out there, spraying down an area, and then going back into the house and putting their firearm back in the safe. Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for these things. And it's just sad. It's just sad. Because these are the people that, and these are the people who are going to be relying on their families relying on them for protection. And you took your firearm out, sprayed an area, and it came back inside. Sister Cassie, is that the armadillo, the 357 comment you were making on Bear Independence live stream? It's high time. It is high time. If we're about our Father's business, and that's one thing that's what I thank the Father for it, because it's kept me out of. It is an easy way to hurt innocent people. Yes, it is, Sister Elaine. With everything I don't have the time to even venture and to worry about what's happening now, because a lot apparently is happening in a lot is apparently happening in the faith. There's a lot of crap people are talking a lot of conflict. And I thank the Father that I'm not necessarily up on all the conflict that's taking place, because I'm too busy. I'm too busy to even fight with the people that are commenting on my own channel. I mean, at what point do we open up our eyes and really worry? That's a question you have to ask yourself, Sister Colleen. Are you ready to do that? YouTube black belts and YouTube Mark Smith. That's right, Brother David. Everybody's giving advice today. So as far as here on the rock, we're moving forward, but we're pressing forward faster and harder than we ever have before. And the whole purpose of the videos that I put out is so that people can get an idea. Like, I'm gonna do a video, y'all willing, if I remember, on my bucket Berkey system where I bought Dalton filters, which is like the British version of Berkey filters, 2 buckets, and I have 2 5-gallon buckets, and I basically have the same thing that people spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on. I just bought 2 food grade buckets, and I have basically a Berkey system for way under half the price. I mean, the bucket for $3 each. The filters, I think I paid 4. I got all 4 for like $125. YouTube preppers. That's the next thing. YouTube preppers, the people who it's all about showing what they're doing, but they really ain't doing nothing. My goal is to go that way. Lady of Lake Florida rolled her eyes. My job is to go that way. And my family comes with me. That's my concern. As a man, that should be your concern. How much food are you going to grow this year? Sister Amy, prepping for that algorithm. Prepping for the algorithm. I like that one. I like that one. See, the thing is that if I see, like, people who put their tags and you type in prepping or prepping, and I find channels, I'm like, this has got nothing to do with prepping. This is a gun channel. Specifically, all you are is a gun channel talking about prepping. Or people who have prepping in their tag or prepping in their description, and your channel doesn't do a prepping. I'm just like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I thought you were a prepper. So then when I go to channels like Bear Independent, I'm like, okay, Pastor Fox, okay, I'm getting some information. And then people sensationalize prepping. And there's a YouTube channel in particular that is, part-time prepper. That's what they should call themselves. There's one channel in particular, and the person does not live in the United States of America. He lives in the northern, the country north of us. And it's like everything's sensationalized. That's not prepping. That's a fantasy. It's a fantasy about what it's going to happen. And then you end it with, well, while you're at it. Yes, it's Canada. Yeah, it's that. Yeah. I think some of you know who it is. It's one of Bear Independent's favorite preppers. And I'm like, that has got nothing to do with prepping at all. Just say I'm trying to create a business. Just say that. Don't even get it. Ah, Betty Fool, you said it. You said it. And I'm like, that is not prep. What? Wow. How about I just want to see what you're doing? I don't want to buy nothing. I don't want to, just let me see what you're doing. $1 million prepping. Yeah, come buy this $700 item. Because that makes you a prepper. That makes you stupid. So how about that's prepping, growing your own chicken food. Sister Colleen, that's what I'm on. That's one of the goals I'm doing this year. Prepping for the rich. That's right. This is prepping for the rich. Like, how many people watch Doomsday Prepper? Yeah, Brother Dave, I've heard the same thing. I've heard that too. And he mentioned me in one of his videos in a good way. And I was just like, cool. You know, I think I did a video about gangs and prepping. You know, these people who sit up in the cities. I think I still have it. I think I still have it up. How all the people who, you know, these gangs, they're stupid and everything like that. I'm like, these gangs are smart. These gangs, I know for a fact, because I knew the people. They were my friends at some point in time who specifically joined the military to get military tactics, to learn military tactics. Then they brought those tactics back to the streets and taught their own people how to slice the pie. They taught them the difference between concealment and cover. They went to the ranges and learned how to pop somebody from a distance. I've watched people die die from a bullet that came from a high point. Right. As Elkown said, you don't get views hauling leaves and manure for the gardens. No, you don't. No, you don't. You get views by sensationalizing it. Let me show you my brand new truck. And let me show you how you need a. I'm like, come on now. But for those who watch Doomsday Preppers, I'm like, I mean, several of the people on Doomsday Preppers got in trouble. Yeah, we're making pipe bombs. First of all, why would you make pipe bombs? Dumbass. Second, why would you show them? Yes, these gangs were military marksmen and skilled in warfare, and they brought that to the streets. Sister Colin, yes, they will. And I've told people that, and they get mad. Right? Why admit you're making pipe bombs? Yeah, we're buying tannerite and making explosives because when people come into my property, I have the control box right here, and we're gonna set them off like mines. I'm like, you dumbass. Now, if somebody ever were to come onto your property and you have to actually defend yourself and actually have to defend your family, all the DA is gonna do is go to your prepper Doomsday Prepper episode and say he was planning to kill people. He was planning to murder people. And what do you think the jury's gonna do with that one? Oh, so you premeditated it then. They're gonna eat you alive in court. I'm not saying you can't practice. What I am saying, though, is why would you be so flamboyant about every last thing you're doing? Yes, exactly, Brother Dave. There's also that one guy who had a felony, who wasn't even supposed to own guns. It was a big old dude who was talking about being a marauder. Dude got in trouble because he's a felon who showed up on Doomsday Prepper with his guns. I'm just like, genius. Genius. There's something about a quiet and peaceable life that I don't think that people get. Never tell your right hand what your left hand is doing. That's right. This is why I don't do live streams showing off, or the people who, I laugh. I go on YouTube and I'll type in 2020 shit hits the fan gun collection. And you got people who are showing their whole gun collection. I'm just like, wow. You just advertised every gun you've ever owned, and how much ammunition you have for each gun, and how you plan on deploying said gun for said situation. Genius. That was brilliant. Most problems are solved by just keeping your damn mouth shut. Right. FBI on the way. Well, if a person comes in and see, I got this for them. You see this? I got this. Yeah, no OPSEC. Thank you. See, I had to learn OPSEC. I learned a valuable lesson by OPSEC when somebody showed up at my work from Texas at my work. Drove a considerable distance. And how did he find my work? He listened to a video where I had the GP. I was driving back from, I don't know where I was driving back from. Somewhere. And my GPS mentioned what highway I was going on and the direction I was going in, and what the next city I was approaching was. And he found out where I worked and showed up at my work. That's why you will never see me do another video with me driving, ever. When I did the video and Pastor Fox contacted me, he was like, brother, OPSEC. Brother, OPSEC. I was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. From that point on, you ain't seeing them. You ain't gonna see it happen. OPSEC, for those who don't know, operational security. You need to have some sort of operational security for your family, for your tribe, for your community, for whatever. And that's why when people ask, oh, what county do you live in? The good old country of America. No, what county? America. No, I'm asking what county, not what country. I live in America. Yeah, that guy. The guy came to me and he said he was one of the two witnesses and I was one of the two witnesses. And I was like, well, if I'm one of the two witnesses, yeah, he found me via the GPS. The GPS mentioned it. He said I was one of the two witnesses. I was like, if I was one of the two witnesses, wouldn't I know? I mean, I am one of the two witnesses after all. Don't you think that Yah would have told me I was one of the two witnesses? He had a YouTube page, a web page with me talking and the claim that we were two witnesses. And I'm just like, but what disturbed me the most was that the person actually came out here and found me. That was alarming. That was alarming. The question is, what was he a witness to? Oh, God. And then, I called the cops. He wanted to meet me. He got to my work in the middle of one of the sister streams and was messaging, was emailing me like, I'm outside waiting for you. I'm like, what the hell? And then he mentioned one of the buildings and said, I'm at this building. I was like, no freaking way. Then I get off and I was handling business in town, and the security guard at the hospital calls me. Is like, yeah, there's a guy here who has a picture of you and is saying that he needs to talk to you. I was like, hell no, I don't know who the person is. I have no idea who this person is. He had apparently everything he owned on his car. And his family. And had his family outside all night. At like 10 at night. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Waiting for me. Needless to say, I said, call the cops. Call the cops. I'm not dealing with this person at all. Right, he was moving in. So needless to say, the police were very, very understanding. So I ran my errands. They came and met me. Right, you're not right. Yes, he had a picture of me that he was showing around. You know this person? Like I was a person on the back of a milk carton. Had you seen me? So the police came to where I was, talked with me, and I was like, I just want him to go. Meanwhile, the police went to talk to him, and I was like, they said, do you want to meet him? I was like, no, I don't know the person. I don't make it a habit. That's not safety. That's not a safe thing. Someone comes to meet me, has a picture, and then you're gonna find me in the back of a milk carton. Have you seen me? 37 years old. 6'3", 6'4", 255 pounds. With me looking like this. On the back of the milk carton. But that lets you know what's going on in this world. That sort of stuff is happening. Divine love like that. So it just taught me, like, wait a minute, see, even with the YouTube presence, you need a picture so you can meet me. So now it's like, I have to be aware. I've got to be smart. I've got to be smarter. You know what? I'm not doing any videos driving. And that's why you haven't seen it anymore. That's why you haven't seen it anymore. Because of OPSEC. There are crazy people. If a person's that crazy, then there are, and people are now, listen, now's the time to make those moves. Oh, it is? It's still on his website? That's crazier. It's still on his website. And I'm we've got to learn to be wise as serpents. See, that's scary. Thank you, Brother David, Sister Amy. Thank you. That's scary. He didn't Photoshop himself in a futon. Oh, gosh. Then he emailed me and was like, you didn't have to call the cops on me. I'm like, well, I should have met you? Because I'm one of the two witnesses? This is why we need to come out. This is why we need to be about our Father's business. This is why we need to live quiet and peaceable lives. That's why on most of my live streams, I always have that first hour section to get rid of the riffraff. Usually the first 45 minutes has nothing to do with the topic. Why? Because people will come and watch the live stream just to hear me speak on a topic. So I run them off. Get rid of the riffraff, and then the serious ones, they'll be there to hear the rest of what's being said. Same thing happened when I was doing live streams on biblical marriage. They'd flood the room so that they could hear talk on biblical marriage, and then be gone. So I didn't do anything on biblical marriage. And then the people who were just there, who were confrontating, usually they're not going to invest an hour to just listen. Oh, you've seen this YouTube when it happened. Crazy. Yes. That dude was crazy. I don't like him. He is the reason I can't build UCs. That's right. So now we just have to be about our Father's business. Preparedness. You're going to see more videos coming from The Rock on the idea of preparedness and homesteading. And I've had a lot of people request this. They're going to be shorter videos. I'm talking videos between 3 and maybe 7 minutes. Now, every once in a while, if I'm doing a big thing, I'll have a longer video. But I've had a lot of requests of people saying, can you shorten up your videos? I do listen to what you all ask. Instead of covering 6 topics in one video, how about do 6 individual topics, 6 individual videos, a topic per video, and the video lasts 5 to 7 minutes. Because I don't have time to sit and watch a 20-minute video. Thank you. I received that criticism. That makes sense. That makes sense. So yes, I'll do that. So you're going to see a lot more videos of shorter spans that will get information out, because what I want is, first of all, I want y'all to be able to learn from the mistakes that I made. Second, if I can build a Berkey for $150, $175, a 5-gallon Berkey, and not everybody, okay, 10-minute videos is best for your channel. Thank you. That's what I'll do then. Around 10-minute videos then. If that's what's gonna save, yes, the rock is in transition. That's exactly what's happening. The channel's in a transition. I've lost a lot more of the religious type that wanted to hear about. See, what people don't know is some of the topics I cover, I do it intentionally to run off the riffraff. And a lot of people don't understand it. So like the last 2 live streams, I talked about the Edomite, white people not being Edomites. I'm doing that intentionally. Because the people that don't care, they're only here to feed whatever they got going on inside of them, they're going to be gone. The ones who just, the reason why I stopped talking about biblical marriage as much as I had been before. There's a time in the season. That time ran out. I got people still talking. Can you do more videos on that? Nope. No, not doing anymore. That's what we're talking. Thank you, Brother David. Transition. So I'm continually saying certain phrases to run the people off. I've noticed that usually on my live streams I had thumbs downs, a lot of them, 6, 7, 8. I've noticed that they've been cut down, and they're not cutting down because I think the people are waking up. They're cutting down because they're unsubscribing. Like my channel recently I went through a 2-month period where I think I lost over the 2 months like 75 subs. It was intentional because I'm not doing this to to eventually transfer to Patreon and make it a business. I'm doing this to give information because I love the idea of the people who love Yah coming out and living a quiet and peaceable life. I love the idea of all of us growing. And what that does is that those of us that are still here, what it will do is it'll do more galvanizing. It'll galvanize the ones that are here more. The serious ones, because see, I don't do this to collect tithes and offerings. I don't do it for that reason. I do it for the sole purpose of moving forward, and like you said right there, the true family will stay. Family now more and more. That's the reason why I do it. That's the reason why I do it. I've had many people who used to fellowship with us who don't fellowship with us anymore. And usually, I'm going to be real, usually the defining line is they hate my stance when it comes to white people. They hate my stance. Yes, the website is still coming. It is still coming. And so is the directory for those. Now, the directory is not going to be I'm just putting out where people live. What I will do is if you live in an area, I will contact the person that lives near you and say, hey, I found a brother or sister who lives near you. Would you be interested in emailing them? If that person says yes, I will then go back to the original person and say, hey, I found somebody who lives near you or is within an hour, or I just say near because I don't want to give even the time, 2 hours from you. So it lives near you. They're in the same state. Would you be willing to email them? Yes. Then I'll transfer the emails, and then from there, it's them contacting each other. But the directory is not going to be something I just hold up and everybody can see where everybody else lives. Because people have OPSEC. They want to be secure. And I believe in that too. They should be able to be secure in where they live. But I'm all about the progression as a unit. Yeah, exactly, HOQ. They need to be looking at the fruit to make sure that the people are of Yah. A video idea, 5-minute Torah teachings covering some less covered topics. Great idea, brother. I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll do that. Yes, privacy matters big time. People don't want their information out there. And if people are willing to share their information, then it needs to be, I need to make sure that I respect everybody. And their, because I don't want my information out there. I would hate for somebody to go out there and blurt out, he lives in this region. That pissed me off. I mean, I've had people who I know Pastor Fox is not okay with come out, oh, you're affiliated with Pastor Fox? How far do you live from him? See, they're trying to put things together. Oh, I heard you're in southeastern Missouri. Is that true? I'm not, you ain't that smart. I got you. I know what you're doing. You're trying to figure out where he lives. You're trying to draw a map. Right, you know. Some people even have my personal address. Right. We bust heads over here. Don't just be showing up. We will bust some heads. You better not be showing up. Oh, I'm gonna show up and I just want to fellowship with you, but I don't know who you are. I had one person telling me he lived in a town near me. Come to find out, that person didn't even live in the Ozarks. Sister Rosie said, Shalom, Brother Chris. Continued homesteading vids would be extremely helpful, and I'm sure we'll get tons of views. I, for one, enjoy you and the sisters' vids in this regard. That's another, thank you, Sister Rosie. That's another thing. Jean-Paul, bless you, brother. And to your house, Sister Tanya. Bless you, Brother Jean-Paul. Bless you, Sister Tanya. I'm in America. The sisters will be doing more videos on homesteading from their perspective. So if you're a sister and you like hearing the sister's perspective. See, I'm the man, you know, a man. So I do more videos on the man's perspective. Like, yeah, grab this pickaxe and that's me. The sisters are going to come from their perspective. Like things that they do. Like I have a video I still have to do on their washing machine that they have. Videos on, we have some are grinding corn. Stuff like that. How we prepare our soil. And mind you, I'm not worried about likes. That's why you never have once heard me on my channel say, like, subscribe, and share. Because I only want the people that are truly earnest. And if I tell you to share, then what if you share it and I get the wrong attention? So I don't necessarily want people just run around sharing my videos to everybody. I'm not asking for that. If y'all put it on a person's heart to subscribe, they will. I don't have to ask it. If a person puts it in y'all, if y'all puts it in a person's heart to like it, he will. I don't care. Oh, I just did. I'm not asking anybody to do it. It's not something that's important to me. So the importance is us, all of us. We're at 2 hours, so we're going to draw to a close. The importance is all of us moving forward. I'm not effective by myself. You're not effective. You remember yesterday we had the verse in Ecclesiastes 4. 2 is better than 1. Guess what that means? 2 homesteads are better than 1. 2 communities are better than 1. Why not? Why not all of us be able to share? Because, see, I don't have all the information. Many of you have it. Many of you have information that is invaluable. Invaluable. Which is why I am still looking to create a platform or maybe That's right. Sisters teaching sisters, brothers teaching brothers. That's how it's supposed to be. Exactly. So when the sisters get on and do their videos, I love it because other sisters are like, wow. I had so many sisters come and say, just the idea of being off grid. Just the idea of being off grid. They've learned so much because I didn't want to get off grid. I didn't think I could be happy. I didn't think I could be clean. I didn't think that I could take a shower. I didn't think that, you know, they look at their skin like, wait a minute, their skin is, they're glowing. They glowing. I didn't know I could go off grid. Now, we don't roll around in the dirt. Well, I mean, we may roll around in the dirt. Let me change that. In fact, we do roll around in the dirt, but we clean ourselves up afterwards. So we're going to be on the rock, and I hope that everybody else is doing it. We are going to be working even that much more harder to spend our shut up. Sorry, the dogs. We're going to be even that much more pushing harder, pushing faster, being more serious. Yeah, well, we have some wild chickens around, and we have our neighbors' dogs come over all the time. Right, people. Thank you, Sister Elaine. People think living off grid is a lack of hygiene. I think if you live off grid, then you're just always dirty. Nah. We're actually probably cleaner than we've ever been. So what people don't understand is that when you shower yourself every single day, you know, people say, I take 3 showers a day. How does your body ever get to build up anything? Right, yeah, you dirty and stink. Yeah, we put some of our roosters in our goat pen, and we're actually building a chicken coop in our goat pen, and we're gonna put most of our roosters over there because our roosters are taking over our chicken coop, and the hens don't like it. They're hiding, and we had to put one out of his misery because the roosters got to it. So now we're transferring roosters out. So tomorrow morning we're gonna do a chicken harvesting session. We're gonna harvest some meat. My first time ever doing it. I have never harvested a chicken. I'm about to do it because we are doers. I don't know how. I watched some videos, and I'm looking forward to it. Yes, they stink because they wash away the good bacteria, so they stink. So they develop body odor quick. They get a drop of sweat and they smell like crap. Our ancestors lived off grid. They not only survived, they thrived. That is right. They didn't bleed them out good though. Thank you. I have my knife all sharpened and I'm ready. I'm ready. The children are like, we can't wait for it. We can't wait for it. My first time. HOQ did a video. His first time doing it. I'm looking for the old paths. So when I say I want to live this word, I want to live the old paths. I want to get as close as I can to what they lived. As close as I can. Like Ribka, I told sisters this all the time. You want to lose weight? Get off grid. You want to lose some weight? Just get out of her. Ribka is still. I might make a video about that. I might. I don't know if I want to show all the guts and glory because I don't want Peter to come and shut me down. Peter. But yes, I believe I can fly. HOQ was saying the song. HOQ, in remembrance of you, as I do the butchering, I will play R. Kelly. I will do it. And then we're gonna soar through that open door. Oh, I believe I can fly. I can fly. I believe I can fly. See, that was all your fault. We should join Frank off grid. Sister Rosie. As I think Brother Alex said, Brother Frank came out of her. Brother David said, ouch. Sister Amy said, and right off that roof. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Right. He's thriving out there. Frank is thriving. Can't catch him, but he's thriving. He's living a good life. Living a good life. Hey, how about it? All I want him to do is get into my goat pen and pregnant the 2 goats that I have, and then he can go back and be free again. Are you going to scald and pluck? Yes, we're scalding him and plucking them. We're scalding and plucking them. Can you bring the eggs? Like I said, today they harvested 20 eggs. It's also hilarious.
I'm washing them off.
Oh, are these? You have other ones? We harvested 20 eggs this morning. 20. I also had to put one of the chickens out of its misery. It was a sad thing, but it's like it's a Sabbath, and I just can't sit here and look at this chicken suffer. So I put it out of its misery. But it continues. Are those there's more?
There's more.
Oh, once she gets all the eggs, I'm gonna show you. What we got in the last, I think, 2.5 days. We're averaging now about 18 eggs a day, and I'm making another order of 55 eggs as soon as this stream ends, or 55 chickens as soon as the stream ends. For those who want to know where I get my chickens from, I'm gonna post this or say it. I get my eggs from, or my chickens from. Let me go back to the page. Valley Farms Hatchery. Valley Farms Hatchery is having a sale right now. They're selling the Rhode Island Reds for $1.10 per chicken. And because I'm a preferred, I've been shopping with them for a while. Shipping is included. So I'm getting 55 and shipping is included in the price. And then I'm getting some of the, they have like a select where you buy basically, they give you chickens that they have excess of. Like we got some Australian Wastraws. We got some chickens that were like $4 or $5 per, from ordering from them. And they give us some of those rare ones. Those ones that, that lay different colored eggs. We got some chickens that are black. I never seen them before. We got one that's gray. All of my favorite are the Barred Rock. I love Barred Rock chickens because the roosters get a little bit bigger. They're still winter hardy, and they're great layers. They lay, right there with the Rhode Island Reds. I am getting some Cornish crosses very soon, also. It's a great hatchery. When I shopped for them last time, I did not have one dead chicken. Now we did lose a chicken or two, but that was because they got crushed in the bin. But all the chickens came healthy. All of them came strong. It's just the ones that died got crushed. But we're upping our chicken. I'm buying posts right now. I just bought posts because we're going to be increasing our coop, our run. So I'm adding a coop in the goat pen, and then I'm increasing my run size because I want more chickens. And like tomorrow, where is it located? Let me see, sister. My internet is moving like a snail right now. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can locate where they are located. If I can find where they're located. It's called Valley Farms Hatchery, but I'm not. Come on. I'm not seeing it. Look up where Valley Farms Hatchery is located, and you'll find it. You'll find where they're located at. But they have some pretty good guarantees too. Okay, brother, I will text you pics because I have some that I have. Now I know one's an Australian Wallstrop. One's an Australian Wallstrop rooster. We're keeping him because, like I said, I'm actually going to start going into hatching my own eggs. That's the next thing, so I don't have to buy anymore. Oh, thank you, Chava Chava. Thank you. That's where they're located. Thank you. But I'm going to be hatching my own eggs. So because I'm a cyclical person. I believe in closing the gap. I believe in why continue to spend money on chickens when I can raise my own chickens. And I think I do have a brooding or one or two brooding chickens in there. So I'm gonna see if someone will sit on them, but if not, I'm actually going to go into the process of making an incubator and incubating my own eggs, so that I can continue to reproduce my own meat, my own eggs. That's the next thing that this year, 2020, is going to bring. This Roman year, 2020, is going to bring for this family. We're going to learn to become more self-sufficient, not having to go online to purchase. Especially things like chickens. You built an incubator? Do you have a picture or something that you can send me? Yes, we have goats. We have two females, and Frank is the male that we had. Brother Alex brought it to me, and the day he brought it to me, Frank got loose, and Frank has been on the rock, but Frank will not go into the the area. Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you. Actually, the goats came from Sister Dana, Betty Boo's homestead. She's the one who gave us the two white goats. But the day Brother Alex got here, Frank escaped. And he's been running around the rock ever since. But, and well, it's like, where's Waldo? You'll see him like, oh, and he's gone. So I'm just hoping that one day he gets into my cage and impregnates them. And then he can run free again. I don't care if he runs, because my property is completely enclosed. It's completely fenced on all sides, which is wonderful. You know, it's a nice sized piece of property, and completely enclosed. Wonderful. Now, one of the neighbors did it because he has cows, and he doesn't want the cows. Yeah, Frank got out of her. Frank took it literal. He said, come out of her. I did. Now, if my goat can do it, what's your excuse? Sister Amy, thank you. I actually have an ice chest out there. We are going to do it. I'm going to get a heater. I'm going to get, we may have to be the turner for the time being, but the children will probably love that, turning the eggs. Because they're all into that. You know, it's part of their homeschooling. But if Frank can come out of her, what's your excuse? You're right. Frank came out of her, but Frank won't go into them. So as a stopgap, what we're doing right now is we're gonna purchase a couple more females, and we're gonna buy I want to buy a boar billy because I want meat/milk goats. That's important for me. The system is not for Frank. Oh, you can incubate 300? Oh, yes, sister. I'm gonna be on your channel right after this live stream. Right after I order the chickens. So, meat, eggs, we're into that. I'm converting actually my van, like I said before, my old van, my 92 Plymouth Grand Voyager, which has a big back. It has an 8-foot 4-inch from the back seat, or from the back of the front seat to the back door is 8 feet 4 inches. I definitely plan on creating that into an area where I can put my little chickens. Like I said, I'm gonna put a small solar system up there and run some heaters in there, heat lamps for them. Ooh, thank you, sister. I'm gonna watch that video, and yes, yeah. Frank is actually a goat. He's actually a goat that's on my property. But we plan on adding at least 4 more goats. At least 4 more goats. we're gonna go to an auction and purchase them. So chickens and goats is where, for us, for our family, that's where our meat is gonna come from. Meat, eggs, and milk. That's our system. I like to do sheep. My land's not conducive for sheep. I like to do cows. My land is heavily wooded. I had to clear like 10 trees just to get a clearing to grow some. I'm growing clover. I'm growing amaranth. I'm growing regular grass for goat and chicken feed. And then our goats also like the purple top radish top. So I'm going to be growing all that in a nice size clearing to feed my chickens and to feed my goats. Because that's another gap. I don't want to have to keep buying hay. Because what happens when we can't buy hay? What happens when you can't go and get it? What happens? I want to be able to produce it myself. And that's the next thing. You know, I fully believe that the land that Yah has given us is blessed. I fully believe that. The rock. For those of you who have never seen the rock, we have a big rock. Literally, the only rock on our property that stands above the ground is a monster rock, like the size of our house. You can climb on it and everything. I firmly believe that the land that Yah blesses you with is blessed. It's blessed land because he gave it to you, which means what comes from that land will be better for you than what comes from off your land. So the food that you produce will be better on your land than the food that you buy from the store. The eggs, the meat, everything that came from the work of your hands will benefit you far greater, because if your hands are blessed and your land is blessed and the water that is rain on your land is blessed, then everything that comes from it will be blessed. Which means all the things, so when we help each other, it's blessings going from one piece of property to the next piece of property. It's blessings going from my house to your house, and your house to my house, and my seeds to your seed. Seeds being from the gardens. Seeds. So even if we had a little seed exchange, and we just exchange seeds. Let me see what I got right here. I know I got something. Hold on one second. Okra. The okra seeds harvested from our gardens. These are okra seeds. I don't know if you can see them. Let's see if I can hold them up. Okra seeds. Giant okra. Now, I left these on intentionally. You know, I knew they were going to get hard and big, but they were about 7 inches long when I harvested them. And this is my third bottle. I keep all of our seasoning bottles. I keep every single bottle, and I use it to hold seeds. But imagine if we were able to, instead of us having to go to the store to buy seeds. See, I'm thinking big. I'm thinking big, as far as us helping each other. What if somebody said, I want to grow some okra? I had to clarify, Brother David. Plant seeds, these seeds. But imagine if it came down to it. Imagine if the blessed food from my land was able to go to your land via seeds. You know, hey, those seeds are they're organic, they're heirloom. We know he went with that one. Imagine having, right. Imagine you receive some heirloom seeds from another person's property. You know they're heirloom, you know they're organic. You don't have to go and wonder, oh, well, I have to go to Baker Creek, even though I like Baker Creek seeds. Because these seeds are not going to cost you $3. These seeds will be, hey, I'm blessing you. I'm blessing you. So I have coriander. Coriander. I have that. I'm going to be planting that this year. But imagine if I have seeds and I say, hey, I'm going to share them with you. You take them, you plant them, And maybe after a year of planting or two, I may say, hey, send me some of those seeds back, please. Well, I buy a lot of my seeds from Main Street Seed Supply, my bulk seeds. Cause I bought my seeds, a lot of them by the pound. Like my mustard seeds, I didn't buy like a pack. I bought like 5 pounds of it. Enough seeds to fill up. I mean, you're talking like mustard seeds that fill up a gallon-sized bottle. So for my bulk, now they do sell small packages of seeds, and their prices are good. And if you buy over $50 worth of seeds, it's free shipping. Then there's Baker Creek. I buy a lot from them. That's kind of all I bought my seeds for. I buy my exotic seeds from Baker Creek. A lot of the different colors, stuff like that. Israel helping and sharing. That's the point. That is the whole point. The whole point is we all can share, especially while we have the time. When I was young, on sheep milk, sheep meat, and always kept the Shabbat, my brother. Hallelujah. Divine love. Hallelujah. I can't see your picture. So I don't know if you're brother or sister, but hallelujah. And that's what it should be. Producing our own food, producing our own Yah's increase. So I have some jumbo okra seeds right here. If anybody's interested in some jumbo okra, I'll send you 10 seeds. You know, all I need is a place to send it. I'll send you 10 seeds. And what you can do is grow them. As long as you do this. Yes, ma'am, I will. Yes, it's a Chavo, I will. I will give you 10 seeds if you make a covenant with me. The covenant is after you grow your seeds, you must make 10 of your seeds available to somebody else in this faith who wants to grow their food naturally. That's it. If that's with that means you have to leave some of your stuff in the ground so that you can bless somebody else. That's all I ask. I'll put them in an envelope. I'll put them and I'll address the envelope and I'll ship them to you. And if we can agree with that, then hey, I will send these seeds out. But you have to help somebody else. Be an encouragement, be a blessing to somebody else by simply leaving 1 or 2 okra on. Let it sit on there, let it dry out. Don't harvest it, don't eat it, let it get nice and hard and dry up and harvest the seeds and make sure you bless somebody else. That's it. Because I believe that this is what we should be doing more than, helping everybody else and spending our money on other stuff. Right. Yah's Seed Trading Company. That's it, Brother David. That's it. Grow them and pay the excess forward in Yah. That's it. Because I have a lot of home harvested seeds that I have. I have mustard seeds. I have broadleaf. I have curly leaf mustard seeds. I have spinach mustard seeds. I have spinach seeds. I have Swiss chard. What was it? Oh, sensation lettuce seeds. The only requirement is that if you grow them, squash seeds, 3 types of squash. With acorn squash seeds, butternut squash seeds, and yellow. And these are all things that I grew, that I have the seeds for. We have pepper seeds, cayenne, habanero, jalapeno, and what is that one? No, not serrano. The Hungarian yellow wax pepper seeds. We have our own tomatoes. All of these we've harvested, and we dried the seeds out ourselves. I am willing, but you have to be willing to bless others. I have butter crunch. I have butter crunch seeds that we grew. We also have black seed Simpson seeds that we grew and we harvested. It says, Amy, it's Hungarian. Well, I got your pepper seeds. We just planted a bunch of garlic. That's the next thing. Yes. The next thing next year is I'm going to make available Butter Crunch, it's a lighter yellow, it's a lighter green. Now ours actually came out dark green, but usually it's a lighter green lettuce. It is really, it's crisp. Some people say it has a buttery flavor. I didn't get that in it, but it's a crisper lettuce and it's good. It's good. So I think this is what we should do and continue to push forward. The things that I'm seeing, I'm not just saying these things because it sounds good. Yeah, it is a sweet lettuce. It is a sweet lettuce. I'm not just saying these things because it sounds good. I'm saying these things because that's what I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So if somebody says, hey, I want seeds, understand that that's part of the agreement in me shipping you seeds, is that you have to pay the increases. Brother David said, you pay it forward. Bless somebody else in this faith with seeds. And continue the encouragement to grow your own food. That is the one thing that this year we will be definitely doing. And that's what this channel is about. We have Brussels sprout seeds also, but these are, they're not, let me say that, they're not, I bought them from Main Street Seed Supply. So this next year, we're going to be planning, we've already almost doubled our garden space. We've almost doubled it. Oh, garlic, I was mentioning garlic. Hallelujah. Brother Frank, it could be the same thing. We all can do it. It's not just something that's done with me. We all need to do it. We all need to say, hey, I got some seeds available. Send me your email address. I have these seeds. I harvested from last year. You want to grow it? Hey, save yourself your $5 because $5 10 times is $50. Oh, Brother David eats jalapenos. He said, by the way, brothers, Aaron, Andre, and Manny, I eat jalapenos now. Brother David is stepping up. He eats jalapenos. I remember when we were fellowshipping, me and Brother Manny were eating jalapenos. Brother David was one over there sweating. I'm like, Brother David, you're sweating and we're eating jalapenos. You haven't eaten a jalapeno yet. He's like, woo. Oh, man. That's awesome. Hallelujah. Actually, peppers will help build your immune system for those who didn't know. In cultures that eat spicy food, they usually have stronger immune systems due to that. But yeah, garlic. Next year, I planted purple garlic this year and my traditional white garlic. So I'm actually going to make available, if I can find a way to ship it, garlic cloves. Not for a fee. Yes, yeah, peppers do help you lose weight also. Yes, they do. Yeah, next step is habaneros. Brother Manny, actually, also, if you want to head over, you can. We're about to draw to a close. So yeah, I'm gonna make garlic available. Now it's only gonna be one clove, but it'll be organic garlic. We still have garlic from last year. We're still eating. But I grew up purple garlic this year, a lot of purple garlic. So we'll have some of that available. Now it's only gonna be a limited amount because I need to make sure I have enough. But you see what I'm saying? The Bible says you should grow excess to help the stranger, the widow, and the orphan. Stranger, widow, and orphan. Well, I want to be able to help them. Oh, she said, Sister Sky corrected him and said, it's pickled jalapenos. Divine Love, I'm sorry, I just can't see the picture from where I am. And I made the assumption many times of, yeah, sister. And the person's like, I'm a brother. Or, yeah, brother. She's like, I'm a sister. I'm like, oh, damn. My bad. So I don't make assumptions anymore. I just say, bless you. And then usually at some point in time, they give it away when they're speaking. Like, yeah, I'm looking for a sister that is, I'm like, okay, cool. It's a man. See, had I made the assumption, I'd have been wrong. So I usually wait for those cues, but thank you, brother. But imagine if we did this. Imagine if somebody got some garlic and planted it and said, you know what? Brother Manny gave me some wild garlic. I planted it, and guess what? Now it's growing like crazy. So now I got wild garlic growing. And I actually have a garlic bed. So sorry, brother, but those are sweet. Brother David Patterson just let you know that they're actually sweet. When they're pickled, they're actually sweet peppers. Just so you know. Brother David, that's still huge. So this is what I'm talking about. Now, if we can all do this, I also have and I have available next year. I'll have available in springtime for those that are looking for it. I have Egyptian walking onions. I have a lot of those available, not to purchase, not for us, not for everybody else. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm making some money off them. But for us, it's just all part of the helping each other. I'm not sure what it is, elk count. It's like a smaller garlic. Smells like garlic, tastes like garlic, but it's actually smaller. And they're growing everywhere now. They're growing everywhere. I planted a couple, and now I have more than that couple that I planted. I have more of them. So if we can be about this, yes, turmeric. I'm actually going into turmeric also. That and Jerusalem artichokes. Jerusalem artichokes. So, it's just, so as you know, we're going to be busy next year. Or this year. We're going to be busy. I'm still busy. It's winter. And usually this is the time where I slow down. I haven't. I'm still getting the house extension done. Still working on that. Then once that's done, I need to build an actual work shed so I can put all my tools in. And we're still preparing the gardens. Why? Because we haven't had, we had freezes, but we haven't had like those, like low 20s and 15 in the teens freezes. We haven't had those yet. So I'm still working on the gardens, preparing them for next year. The ground's still workable. And then we had some rains. So now I'm setting posts while the ground is soft. I'm building a large trellis for like my Malabar spinach, my climbing beans. I'm building a large trellis for those because the ground's still workable. It's still soft, until the freezes come. Yes, I'm growing bamboo too. I'm just growing it way on the other side of our property. I'm actually growing bamboo. I actually ordered some because I want to see if I can get it to grow and have it take over that region and hopefully try to stop it from spreading everywhere. But it's a great building material. It's a great building material. So let's be about our Father's business. Let's be about our Father's business. Let's be serious. When we do things, yes, we do things for our family. But things like gardening, let's also consider a little bit bigger. Let's consider helping others. I don't have the money to just send somebody. But I can send some seeds. And I still actually in a way where if it saves that person from having to buy seeds, then hallelujah. If it helps somebody, hey, I just saved myself $200 because I built this Berkey. That's what we're going to be doing on the homestead this year. But also, and most importantly, is prepping for the family. And I hope that each one of us is doing that. Prepping for your family, preparing for your family. Big things, small things, all sorts of things. What something as simple as putting an extra quart or the 5 quarts of oil in your car, or something as big as actually making the move, leaving the city, coming out, preparing your land, preparing your soil, things like that. Things like that. Being about our Father's business. Time is short. The world's going crazy. Men, please please care for your family. Please be aware of what's going on. Have a point system. 10 being we're staying in the house, we're locking the doors, and 1 being, hey, everything's good, do whatever you want to. Have some sort of system. Like y'all said, my teacher know me, yes. Keep your mind, as Brother David said, stayed on Yah. Keep it on it at all times. Your mind should never deviate from his will in your life. And if you don't know his will in your life, ask. Seek. The Bible says, seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened unto you. So if you don't know it, ask him. Father, what should I do? I've noticed you've been closing a lot of doors. Every time I think I'm making a move, that door closes. So where do you want me to go? Show me where you want me to go, and I will obey and do it. I asked him, what do you want me to grow? I mean, it's funny. I asked him one time, what do you want me to grow? And I was on my not my website, the internet, and I accidentally clicked on something. I don't know. It was in my pocket. It was in my pocket. My phone was in my pocket, and I had shopped on Main Street Seed Supply, and that like 2 days prior. And so I'm on different websites. I put my phone in my pocket on Yahoo, and I was at work. And then I sat down finally several hours later, put my pocket out of my phone, and there was an item in my cart. So apparently, from the bouncing around in my pocket, it took me to the website, and then put something into the cart. So I pull my hand out, my pocket out, and I'm like, when the heck did I put? I think it was broccoli seeds. I'm like, what the heck did I put 3 pounds of broccoli seeds in my cart? And then it's like it. Remember, you asked me. You asked me to how do you pull your pocket out of your phone? Oh, you know what I meant. I pulled my phone out of my pocket. Okay, you got me. You got me. I pulled my phone out of my pocket, and I had the broccoli seeds on. I'm like, but I heard you asked me what you should grow. Grow broccoli. It was broccoli or something else, and it was broccoli, and it was red Russian kale, red Russian kale. And I'm like, sorry, $50. Yeah, it's a lot of seeds, pounds of seeds. It was over $50, free shipping. I placed the order. Thank you, Father. Thank you. So you never know how he's going to answer. Ask Yah what he wants for you in your life, and be willing to move, irregardless of what the answer is. If he says, sell everything, get to the poor, and follow me. Didn't he tell the rich young ruler that? If he says, you know what? I'm getting 6 months. 6 months, you need to be out of here. 5 months. 2 months. Because what you don't want is things that happen that force you to leave. Like what happened to me. I hurt myself at work and had to leave. You don't want there to be a wildfire to burn down your house for him to have to show you it's time for you to go. You don't want to have to be in a severe car accident and you can no longer live in that area, or you don't want something bad to happen for you to have to know it's time for you to go. So you must be willing to make the move as soon as you hear it. Because if you ask him, he'll show you. He'll show you. You don't want to have to be displaced for you to move. So make the moves while you can. Make the moves while you still have a choice of the move that you're going to make. Because eventually, at some point in time, the way the world's going, Rebecca, you have the kitchen light on. While make the move while you still have a choice in the move that you're going to make. Because the time's going to come where the choice is gone. The time will come when you may have burnt so many bridges you'll never be able to make a move. Make it in confidence. Make it in surety, knowing that Yah sent you that way. This is 2 days worth of eggs. And then there's still 11 in here. And Ribka's boiling 8 of them. That's just 2 days, 2.5 days of eggs that we are getting. Because we are about our Father's business, and we need to be about our Father's business. We need to be about our Father's business. Make the moves. Please make the moves. It would suck for, and I know me and the brothers feel this way. It would suck to hear that somebody that was on a live stream that we fellowship with didn't make the moves, didn't do the things they needed to do, and they find themselves suffering. We say, what happened to so-and-so? I don't know what happened to so-and-so. Hallelujah, Brother David, Sister Amy Patterson. They're making their moves. And again, the move is not you have to move out here. The move is come out of her. That's the move. Come out of her. So if we do all this, we will make much progress. There will be much progress amongst us. Enlightened One said, thank you, Brother Enlightened One. He will also do the 10-seed forwarding. So he'll do it also. Let's be about our Father's business. And let's move when He and where He tells us to go and move. Without fear, without questioning, without doubting, with confidence, knowing Yah sent me here. So I'm going. Yah wants me to do this. Since I've come to the rock, I have never looked back. Never. We've had some hard times. I have never looked back. Because the Bible says that any man puts his hands to the plow and looks back is not worthy of him. Don't look back. Move forward. In peace and joy, knowing that Yah sent you. That you should be relieved that Yah has called you to make these moves. So let's do it. And what are your plans for the Roman year 2020? What are your homesteading prepping plans? What would you like to do? I'm going to take the last 10 minutes. I just want to read some of the things that y'all got. What are some of your plans for this coming year that you are going to get accomplished? Because it's wonderful if you say it, because if you say it, you're not held accountable for it. So what things do you have in your plans for this year? All right, Brother Frank said they are leaving in June. Yeah, I never look back. Never. So Brother Frank said he's leaving. I plan to move, build gardens, and a house. That's what Brother David Journey Acres said. To find people of like-minded near me. That's a wonderful, wonderful plan, New World. New chicken coop, bigger goat pens, and a barn, and getting closer with Yah. I love that last part. But I also love the chicken coop and goat pens. All these wonderful plans that are going to lead to a closer relationship with the Father and even further self-sufficiency. Some are coming out. Brother David, both Brother Davids. We got a lot of Brother Davids. Brother David Journey Acres, Brother David and Sister Amy Patterson, and Brother Frank. They're all coming out. I know HOQ's coming out. We have gardens coming in. People talking about gardens. People talking about home building. People talking about goat pens being built. Larger chicken coops. Moving this month. Planting gardens, inland and greenhouse. Wonderful. Building my small house. That's awesome, Sister Harriet. That is awesome. I am finishing up a new fenced garden. It's 150 by 50, and I'm halfway done. It's in addition to other gardens I already have. A 150 by 50 foot garden. That's a lot of food. That's a lot of food. Bless you, Brother Elkown. Trying to talk hubby into letting me garden. He won't let me be out in the heat because, let me bring that back up. Come on. Because of the heat, because of my heart issues. Well, be careful when you're out in the heat, but that's another wonderful thing. 10 acres are called reality. Is that the name, Brother Frank? David Patterson said, chicken coop and woodshed, building patio. I just built a patio, in fact, and I'm going to shoot a video of it. We have a patio now. We have a covering, and we have a patio, like the porch. It's an 8 by 24 porch along the whole front side of the house, and I will shoot a video on that. Says the lady of Lake Forest said, I am going to try and not get heat stroke again this year. That's an excellent plan. Since the sky said, I agree with Brother David. I have never looked back. More pleased and relieved now than 5 years ago when we moved to the sticks. It's all worth it, and Yah is worthy to be praised. He is absolutely worthy to be praised. To bring me out? Me? Like I said, I continue to wonder because I don't recognize myself from 3 years ago. The 3 year ago me would look at me today and be like, who the hell are you? I'm you in 3 years. Hell no, you ain't. Hell no, you ain't me. I am you. Damn. I'm a bulb like that in 3 years? Oh, my bad. I mean, it would be worried about that though. But David said, produce more food, preserve more food, build a workshop, chicken fortress, learn to be still and keep my mind on Elohim and his ways and will for my life, following the ways of our ancestors. I love the following the ways of our ancestors. Absolutely. Absolutely. And yes, food production. That's one thing that I'm on, is continuing to produce more food. Since the sky said, built with timbers from our own land. From their own land. So what they're going to do is they're going to cut trees down, they're going to let them pile them up, and then they're going to move into that. No, that's not what they're going to do. Multiplying herbs. That's another thing I'm doing. Is we have our herb garden. We have a lot of mint. I can't wait for spring for the mint to come back. But I'm going to be multiplying. I'm adding 3 or 4 more gardens for just herbs, not herbals. Herbs. Fruit, vegetable, fruit, and nut production. Learn to hunt. I'm buying 20 fig trees this spring. I have a connection with a nursery. I'm buying 20 fig trees. Now, 2 of our fig trees have already produced. So, figs and dates. I am going to be producing some heavy amounts of figs, 20 to be exact, fig trees. I'm also buying some other trees. I'm also going to do goji berries. I've done goji berries, and then they get big, and then I don't take care of them, and they die. This year's going to be different. I'm going to start goji berries, and I'm going to produce a lot in the next couple years. But I got to start them. But I'm doing 20 fig trees at least. I'm also going to be doing other fruit trees. So I have to budget. I'm saving now for that big purchase in springtime. You see, I'm saving my money for things later on. Build, grow, and help, Sister Carrie. That's a wonderful idea. That's why I'm getting giddy about 18 days and counting. That's what Sister Amy said. 18 days. Yeah. Breeding livestock, said Sister Carrie. That's a good one. Divine Love said, Yah planted us like a seed in spirit of him. We sprout up and upward of righteousness in his love and word. Hallelujah. You can take the top. It might be for the Mary. Hallelujah, Brother Divine Love. Journey Acres, how you plan to preserve chicken? Well, we have freezers. We have a freezer. We have an outdoor freezer that we keep outside in our porch. During the freeze, what we actually do, we just open it up. We open up our freezer, and it continues to stay frozen when it's really, really cold. And then when it's non-freezing spring, summer, and fall, we hook it up to our solar, and it freezes. That's how we plan on preserving. Also, we plan to do something very simple called not butchering them until we're ready to eat them. So the greatest refrigerator you actually have is your land. Your land is, bless you, brother Alex. Your greatest refrigerator is your land. Harvest your food when you're ready to eat it. Harvest chickens when you're ready to eat them. So that's what I plan on doing also. It's just, I'm going to keep the stuff in the ground until I'm ready to eat it. When I'm ready to eat it, go pluck it up, harvest it, or cut it. If it's greens, cut them, make a salad. There you go. Because I oftentimes wonder how they did refrigeration back then. And it's like, no, they probably just left it out in the fields. They probably harvested enough for the day or two, and then they left the rest out there. So that's what I plan on doing. But for the winter time, they've done a lot of canning. Sister Cassie said, canning my 5 guardians, and her head would like to get his class A. Hallelujah. Harriet Villanueva said, also learning how to sew. That's an awesome idea. Awesome idea. Fixing up the house to suit us. That's an excellent idea, Brother David. Yes, I understand the fig trees get 20 feet across. I'm buying 20 fig trees. 20. I want figs. Sister Carrie, that's not weird at all. Becoming more normal and stable is not weird at all. At all. But David said, last longer. Get your minds out of the gutter. I mean, getting more work done each day. Dates and figs. That's a nice ending, Brother David. Yes, absolutely. Dates and figs. If you don't understand the joke, dates and figs are essential in keeping the man. It has the essential vitamins and minerals that keep a man vibrant and lively. And yeah, that sort of thing. Cleaning land, spreading out about 4 piles of wood chips that look like they have been sitting there for a couple of years, and figuring out how to use a soil shredder. Excellent. Excellent. Joinery, timber frame structures, working with our hands to produce sturdy buildings that last for our children's children. That's some pretty damn sturdy buildings. Canning chicken. Oh, wait. Do you can chicken? We're going to learn how I can chicken. We're going to learn it. Yes, chickens will last 9 to 12 weeks. You can't leave them out there for a little bit. Oh, they're ready to butcher 9 to 12 weeks. Train my son to be a better believer than I am and get him ready to be a second generation alpha. That's excellent. Getting his son ready. Weld. I have a welder. I do some stick welding. I am going to get a flux core wire welder. It's just easier. Stick welding is not easy to me. I can do it. I can strike an arc. I can even hold the arc. It's just not easy, but my welds are not clean. But a flux welder, I can do clean welding. So I'm going to learn how to get better at stick welding, but I'm going to buy a flux welder because I can weld with my flux. I can flux weld. It's just so hard to stick. To me, it is. But I'm getting better. I'm getting better with my stick welding. I've progressed. I've done some welding, made some things that have lasted using my stick welder. I like flux welding. It's easier, but I do want to get good at stick welding. So getting good at stick welding is one of the things that I want to do this year. Because they both have their pros and cons. Woodworking, I want to work with wood. I want to learn to make my own handles. That's one thing I want to learn this year, how to make my own handles. Like for my axes and my hammers. I already made one hammer handle, and it works well. But I want to learn how to fully make handles because I'm always snapping handles, and with the my shovel handles, I'm always snapping them. So I want to learn how to make uh, wood handles. Definitely want to. Now, here's what I'm gonna do, everybody. I'm gonna keep this live stream. I'm actually gonna at work. I'm gonna take the time. I'm gonna go through the comment section. I'm gonna write down what everybody said. And what we're gonna do is, as we go through these live streams throughout the year, we're gonna have little like progress reports where we're gonna see, are you progressing in the things that you said you wanted to do? Because remember, no idle words. So if you're saying it, you must be about it. By the fact you're saying this thing means you must be about this thing. So you're going to be held accountable by the words that you said. So I'm going to take the time. I'm going to write all this stuff down at work. I'm going to write down your name and I'm going to write down what you said you were going to do. And then we're going to have progress reports, maybe 4 throughout the year. We'll have one in spring. We'll have one in summer, in fall, and at the end of the year. And we're going to see, are we doing it? Are we doing it? And also that'll be an opportunity for us to encourage each other. Because let's say one person say, I want to build better gardens. Well, that may mean you may have to get in contact with somebody else who's doing it and they can help you. That also may mean if you're in an area of visiting somebody else and you know they have this task that was on their agenda, you can then say, hey, you need some help? I have first day I'm available and I have a pickaxe. You said you want to dig up your garden soil? Let's do it. I have a shovel, a wheelbarrow, a cart, and you said you want to spread those wood chips? Let's be about it. Let's be about it. And that's another thing. I think that also sending, I think big. Having the ability to send pictures to each other. Where everybody, that's why I want to do the website. That's why I'm doing the website. It's because you don't have to put your name, or you can put your name and send pictures that can be posted to show, hey, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Look at my garden. Then we have a little comment section. I'll have a little forum where those of us who we know can share on the forum, have the ability to share different ideas, share recipes, and it's good. And no, it's not going to cost. You don't have to be a certain level to access it. It's going to be accessible to everybody. But it'll be our website where we can post things to encourage each other. Brothers can encourage brothers, sisters can encourage sisters. You can even post a little video if you want. If you don't want to post it up on YouTube, you can post a little video. You're right, Brother Frank. The $500 level are the only ones who can access it. You knew what I was really getting at. It's the $500 level. I'm just trying to do the little things that I can do because Yah has been so good to me. So good. Yeah, I want to do forum style. Where people have the freedom to post. You can comment, you can talk, you can, share pictures. It'll basically be like a forum website. It'll just be like different areas that you can, different topics where people can start a topic up. Big things. See, I'm not an idealist. If I said something, I'm going to go do it. So we're going to go do it. Anyways, with that being said, let's be about it. Let's continue pushing forward. Everything you said, I'm going to write down so that we can, yes, I do want it to be private. It's going to be a private thing where you have to be allowed in. Because I don't want random people just coming in there posting at all. It's going to be people like us. We keep the law. We love the Father. We love his ways, homesteading, preparedness, things like that. Because I want it to be where people can even post like a like a do-it-yourself video. Like let's say someone knows how to weld, and somebody can say, "Hey, this is how you strike a weld." Because see, what happens is that I can go through and watch the stream again, and all I do is I hit the live chat, and it shows what everybody posted at the exact time, so I can start writing it all down. So I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it this week. That's my goal. I'm gonna finish that. I'm gonna get that down into a notebook. But let's be about our Father's business. Let's be about his, no greater love than a man who's willing to lay down his life for a friend. We're brethren here. We're sisters here. Sometimes the laying down of life is not necessarily, I'm gonna go die. Oh, Shadia, thank you. I'm gonna get in contact with you. Thank you. Sometimes it's just a matter of, let's just do what we can right now. Let's show Yah our love for him by showing our love for each other. The Roman year 2020 is a big year. We see big things coming down. We have the election. We have a lot going on. Let's be careful. Let's be prudent. Let's be active. And let's move in the way he told us to move. Because who knows how much time we have left? Who knows when we're going to be at war? Who knows when this world pops off into World War III? Who knows? But if we are prepared, Yah willing, it'll never affect us like it does everybody else. With that being said, bless you all. Have a blessed week. We're going to have plenty of videos this week. I'm going to try to shoot like 4 videos this week. Shalom, shalom, shalom.